Hello, Edward. Hello, Scratch. So this is kind of a test stream. I I am able to stream in apparently 2K now. So we're giving it a shot. Yeah, I wanted to see if that option was showing up. Because like, yeah, it did show up. Nice. So it's not everything is in 2K. Like the background that's moving, that's still in 1080. The images in the corner probably are at a higher resolution now. But yeah, like video, pre-rendered video stuff's still going to be at 1080 because I never thought I would need to go to 1440. So we'll see. I read up on it because I was like, how the hell are they doing 1440 because they're not doing AV1? And apparently they're using HEVC, which is essentially H.265. So it's the upgraded codec. But normally that's very expensive. So I was kind of like unsure why they did that. But anyway, the bitrate increase was apparently from 6,000 to 7,500. I'm hoping that is across the board, not just for 2K, because that would be really nice. Actually, if they are doing H.265, it means that I can probably stream 1080 60 at 6,000 and actually have a good time. So actually 2K says they can do 2K 60, but 2K 60, what is the recommended bitrate for streaming at 2K 60? It says 10 months ago that there was some doing it, but that doesn't make any sense because it wasn't a thing. Yeah, YouTube 2K60 is between 9,000 and 12,000. So that's why 7,500 made me go, ugh. But if it's using H.265, then that actually makes sense. Yeah, all of it should look fine. It actually should look like derpy. It should be exactly the same as before because it's just in 1080 on top of a 2K stream. Everything you see now is basically still 1080. It's my monitor, or once I switch to my screen, that it would be. And if I like do camera only, that's only 1080. I can't like webcam my camera. Well, if I switch back to my other webcam, because apparently it works now, I just haven't done it yet. That can do 4K, which then, yes, I could do 2K, but it's only at a limit of 30 FPS. But I don't think I would ever stream 2K 60 FPS. Why? Going 1080 60 is great. I love that. And for SFM, maybe. I don't know if I'm going to like use it all the time. It's the reason I don't think it makes much sense is because most of the times you're not watching Twitch full screen. Like how many people here have what is on what you're watching in full screen and with a 4K monitor? I don't think too many people have 4K monitors. 2K is more popular. 1080 is even more popular, which means but if you're watching it in a smaller window than that, it means you're not even near your actual max resolution anyway, which means 1080 is probably already going to be capped. I don't get the 2K as much. I just want more bitrate. But I applied for the beta and like surprisingly they said like okay like 3 days later, so I won't complain. The thing that's a little confusing is when you're looking at like the OBS options. For one, I had to update it because I had to use version 31. I didn't have that yet, and it still says it's streaming 6,000. It says because it's a beta, I have to like just tell it to do whatever and it will figure it out. It does have an increase. It used to be because of the multi-stream that I would do about 12,000 kilobit upload, and now it's doing 19. So it is definitely streaming more. My main screen is 2K. Over my secondaries are both 1080p, and I normally only watch content on my right secondary screen. Yeah, stuff like that. Even at that case, if you're watching a 1080 stream, the only time you're going to see the full 1080 is if you're full screening the video. But more than likely, you're not, because you're going to have chat or something else open, which means it's a subset of that window. So you could probably watch a 720 stream, and it would look perfectly fine. It's the only thing that's kind of nice is if you're over resolutioning and scaling down. That it tends to be sharper, clearer, and just the enhanced bitrate tends to mean less artifacts. Like I have a 2K monitor and I'll just switch to 4K on videos just because I want the higher bitrate. I think YouTube's 4K bitrate is like 35 megabit per second, but their 1080 is like 12. So, I mean, that's about a third. That's big. I don't upload 4K for high resolution. I just do it because I want that bitrate. Give me sharper horses. Anyway, Michael is home. He's just eating. He'll be up here quick soon. Quack. And I haven't got my audio prepped. There. That's probably gonna be too loud. Yep. I was checking something. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Okay. Well, you'll have to let me know if it looks fine or whatever, but this is 2K. My monitor doesn't go any higher than that, so too bad. I just measured it, and the video height of my screen right now is 480. Like, did you put a ruler? If I have chat open when it's full screen, it goes to a whole 984 pixels tall. Because I know you can. Do I still have it open? No, I was looking at the bitrate thingy. If you go, oh no, I still have it open. If you go on here, not right click, you can go video stats or like advanced video stats, and it will tell you what resolution's coming in at, but it will also show you how big it is in your current monitor. So that's actually pretty handy. Which means if I'm shrunk down the size, does it decrease the bitrate it's using? That'd be interesting. How do I have a 1 second delay to myself? Okay. Going somewhere. 1580 by 960. Yeah, see, that's under 1080. So that's why I'd like to mean 2K is not needed. I just watch Twitch in 360p because my Wi-Fi is ass. And it's for that reason that I solely went out and bought a 40 series card and replaced. I had a 3060 that did my encoding. I bought a 40 series for you. I got it because unless you're getting like the partner status, you don't get transcoding all the time, which means that unless you're streaming during a low time, you can only stream at your source quality and nobody else can get anything but the source. That sucks for people like you that has, if you have problems with internet or your Wi-Fi sucks and you just have to put it at a lower quality. So by them doing the multi-streaming thing, which was only enabled on 40 series cards and up, it allowed me to do the transcoding, and I would just send out all the different video signals, so they didn't do the transcoding. And I enabled that immediately. Like as soon as that like beta or whatever opened up, I immediately went out and bought a 4060 and put it in for that purpose. Then you don't have to worry about it. It's always there. Instead of like, oh, I can't watch today because that streamer doesn't have it enabled. I don't have no control over that, and it's so stupid. So it's stupid that it's now on me, but I have the bandwidth, so why not? So yeah. But yeah, I know there's people that have that issue, and I know there's also other streamers that are like, wow, people need better computer. Fuck them. ShareX will show me the size. Oh, okay. Low latency. Yeah, I know you can. There's like, yeah, you can do that too. You can switch in that, right? Yeah, low latency. I don't know what difference that makes. It probably just means you get a little bit less video quality, but at maybe really if you're just watching and like not interacting, or if you're, or even if you don't care if there's a couple extra seconds, you can probably just turn that off and maybe look a little better. But yeah, the video stats in here, I actually will do this a lot. I'll like watch somebody like playing Mario Kart, and you'll just see it go smoosh all over the screen. It just looks like crap. Like the bitrate got messed up. And you go into their video stats and you can tell that they're streaming at like 4,000. What is that? Yeah, their bandwidth will be like 4,000 as they're sending out, but they're streaming at 1080 60. If you ever see somebody doing that, ask them to switch to 720 60. It's a way better experience for everybody watching, or at least to look up how bitrate works. It's important. And I knew all that, so that's why I don't do that. Anyway, let's see here. Where were we at?
Off and your body will just do the rest. It'll just take over.
I think. Oh yeah, we needed to do. We need to get some lip syncing done on Scoos here. My other concern was just whether or not my streaming in 2K would cause more strain on my poor 10400 processor. I don't think it should though. I wanted to upgrade it, but then I looked at how energy efficient that processor is, and holy crap, the 10400 can run at like 15 watts, like on idle. I used to shut down my stream computer, but now I don't, because at idle it runs at like anywhere from 35 to 50 watts. It's this close to negligible for the amount of like time it takes me to like get things booted back up again. So I just leave it on all the time now, which the 4060 is also super energy efficient at idle. Between the two of them, only pulling like 40 watts is crazy. It's just, that's nuts. So I don't, wow, I'm not actually used to these things actually being my normal resolution. Normally it's like a little stretched. That looks weird to me. Why does the school's name look weird? No, that's all right. Lip sync. But if people, like, the problem with doing the 2K thing is now everything's smaller. And if it ends up being that that's kind of a hindrance for what people are watching, I'll switch back to 1080. I have no problem doing 1080. It was more of, hey, here's a shiny new option. I only just realized there's a derpy hanging out on your webcam. There's another one over there. I don't know where to aim over there. It's over there. Look, there's two derpies. That derpy's been there for a long time. I actually forgot it was there for a long time. There's another derpy. Even if I do streaming at 2K more often, I don't think I'm going to upgrade those. That one might actually look a little better. Some of those little corner ones are rendered a little bit higher in scale, like kind of shrunk down. It's the big derp though is 100% 1080, and so that one's not going to be as good. I'm gonna derpy and see if Michael notices. He would not notice. He probably does. It's just like I don't notice it because it's just blended into the background so much now. I can hydrate. I do have my water. Hello, Soul Kitty. Hello, Peak. Cheers. I've actually been really good on my water today. I've already drank one of these. I'm really good about drinking water if I'm at work. No. Okay, so we need to get her base set up. So she's that, and where's the pucker? There we go. Up a little bit. Cheers, Scratch. Very bubbly.
Take over.
But I can't.
Take over.
But
Some of this lip sync is going to be kind of tough because it's not just speaking. It's like there's fear and emotion in it. Can I just hide these? Yeah. Hello. I could hear you go in front of the dehumidifier and knew you were there.
Change the sound.
Mm-hmm. Do you want my thingy?
No, I'm gonna drink it way too fast.
One of those days.
No, it was a fine day. It was a slow day. I was trying not to fall asleep. It's hard.
You are an old man. Do you want to tell him your story about the restaurant yesterday?
Oh, the one you're very happy about,
I laughed and then got to laughing again. It was
where they asked you for your ID, but then they didn't ask me. They just looked at me and went,
yeah. Our power went out for like 4 hours yesterday, so we went out to eat because we didn't have anything prepped that wasn't going to be already getting out for anyway. So I went to a restaurant and we all ordered a beer. And when I ordered the beer, I was already pulling out my ID, and she goes, "Yeah, can I see your ID?" So I showed her ID, and then they went to Michael, and he just ordered the beer, and then they continued on to Adam, and they asked Adam for his ID.
They
and
asked
then
both of them.
And I started giggling because I knew of what just happened. But then the lady, I don't know if she noticed or something.
She's like, on it. Yeah.
She said, what was it like? Well, I know you're at least 22.
Yeah. I'm like,
and then I burst out laughing. It was
wonderful.
That was great. Hello, Godzilla man.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, hi, Michael. What were you munching on?
Salad.
Still?
What do you mean still?
Well, I mean, just I thought you were like gnawing on
upstairs.
Go. Oh. Just take over.
No, I didn't bring the salad down here, and I'm chewing on it like a cow.
Just take over.
But I can't.
Argochidi already had his ID out. No, he had his hat on. Yeah, and he had it backwards, all like 90s kid cool style.
And I told him that I had my ID out, so she might not have asked, but because I already had it prepped, she might have then asked for it. And Adam,
he's wearing a backwards cap.
No, Adam, I could see maybe, but I don't know of anybody that's 21. And oh no, he was that tall at 21.
Yeah.
So I can
he hasn't grown since he was.
I can see Adam a bit because he's at least he's 31, but we're closer to like 40 something.
Adam also has a freakishly full head of hair.
Yeah.
Though if you look at pictures of him from his early 20s, he had even more hair.
Maybe he'll donate to us
someday. But yes, here we are again. What is she? Oh, she's making a little cute face.
No, she's stealing cookies.
Oh, she's still cookies. She distracted me with cute face. Almost didn't catch her.
Good. It's good the job you did, because otherwise she'd get away with it.
Yeah.
I mean, she did get away with it, but
she has a mountain of cookies at this point. She's building a house.
A house of cookies.
Mm-hmm. It's a child's dream.
Boost beam. Really? Are they running out of URLs?
Yeah. .ru. Oh, yes. Delightful. Delightful socks. Look at them go. Let me see the rest of the ponies are attached to it.
I am. This is the first time streaming at 2K.
Oh, great.
That monitor. No, actually, that one.
Now they can see how ugly we are.
Actually, I wrote that too.
Did you think about this before you did it?
No, it's.
We're hideous.
It's smaller.
We're hideous, and they know.
Except for like the little bottom things, like the things I have down here. Those are kind of built for the other one, and so I don't know.
How dare you call them the hoovesies?
But yeah.
Yes. No, they need. They were cold. Peak. Or cold hoovesies. They need socks. Everybody in chat immediately just logs off. As soon as I get here, like, oh, I can see him in 2K now.
Well, no, the corner's not. And even if I switch to camera, the camera's only sending the signal to my computer at 1080. So that's going to be no different. Yeah. It's just the higher bit rate is what's not only higher bit rate, as far as I can tell, if you stream in 2K, it forces it to H.265, which is a better compression algorithm. And so it's overall should be actually just better over on everything.
Mm-hmm. Except our faces.
That's why I keep you further back.
Yeah.
But you are more straight.
You don't want the competition.
No, you're not straight to the camera.
Boost the beam.
Don't cross the streams.
No, it was some pretty good pan-fried trout. It was walleye, but that's a type of trout. More people know what trout is. So, yeah. It's good. I hadn't had a trout of any sort in a while. Walleye's kind of the big thing here, though.
Yeah. Well, because you can get that local.
Yeah, it's local.
Whether or not they do.
Who's to say? But it's very much a staple of the area. Which I don't even think trout's like in Kentucky. It was just salmon, tilapia, and tuna. And that was, unless you went to like unless you went out of the way to find fish, those were your options. Kroger, if you live in the area, always had something different. I remember getting mungfish one time. And if you ever seen what a mungfish looked like, very ugly. They called it the poor man's lobster. It did not taste anything like lobster. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't good. And it was ugly to look at. I don't know if you've ever seen what a mungfish looks like, but it's an ugly fish. And they just had the whole thing in the case. Fun thing about the mungfish, the reason it's so ugly is that it's a deep water ocean fish. And when it's compressed by the seawater, it's like all shapely and nice looking. But as soon as they bring it to the surface, it just bloops.
It's like the blobfish.
Well, that's the other name for it.
No, okay, then just call it a blobfish.
Well, it's a mungfish.
No, it's a blobfish.
We call it a blobfish because it turns into a blob.
Yes.
When we bring it to the surface.
It's a much better name.
I've eaten one.
Well, aren't you just a horrible person?
Yes.
How dare you eat animals?
How dare. It is an ugly freaking fish when it's brought to the surface. They would always have crazy stuff in that Kroger's for fish. Like one time they had a shark, and the butcher who worked there, and I knew him at the time, cut open the shark because it was his job to get it cut up. And being a butcher, crazy. And it had little baby sharks inside of it. And he asked what he should do with them, and they told him to put them out in the display cabinet. And sure enough, somebody came along and bought them.
Yeah, but it's like you and mammoths. They're like, ooh, I would never eaten that before.
Yeah.
I'm going to cook it.
He said they would just get an odd.
Shark once was really good.
You know. I've never had shark. I don't think. But he said they would get in odd things once in a while, and they would just have to.
They got caught in the net.
Serve them up. Yeah.
Actually, I was reading something recently that was talking about how a study has shown that leaving fish out to die through asphyxiation is much more painful than they had originally thought. That it is essential that like the first minute or two is just them like hitting asphyxiation, but then they actually hit like a brutally painful time for a few minutes that they basically have horrible suffering and torture until about like in minute 6, and then they die over the next 2 minutes. But they're like, it's considered to be like a high level of animal cruelty just to do that, and everybody does that because it's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, because they're
just like, it just kind of stops moving. They don't see the pain, but like they put sensors up and they actually followed like the pain sensors, and they're like, oh no, it's under horrible pain. And they're like, but nobody wants to go and try to shift to something cheaper. Though they said, I think if they increase the cost of fish by like 10 or 15%, they can make it 100% humane. But nobody's going to do that.
No.
Instead, they're just going to keep doing it the way they're doing it because that's what we do it.
Yeah.
And that's terrifying. That is just,
They blow them up with
know,
nets and then they process them on the ships.
if we see a moo suffering, we're like, no, we need to make that more humane. But like fish, no, they're not human like. They're not cute, so we don't care.
Yeah, that is kind of the attitude towards animal cruelty.
The one thing they did say is that is humane is head bonking.
The fish?
Yeah. It's literally just knock them dead to, or like a hard smack.
Oh, whopping them against a rock.
Well, no, because nobody's going to do that individually, industrially. Something that does that. So, like, the problem is after you pull them from the water, you have like a 2-minute time window.
You just have a guy who like bonks them.
Yeah. What's your name? I am the
Fish bonker.
I am the senior fish bonker.
Yeah, he bonks all the fish.
Yeah.
His job to
Level
bonk
3.
them. Yeah.
You know, he can use a smaller stick because he's more precise. Mm-hmm. But
They are
they said
quick to process them.
and I think they said freezing is worse
Yeah.
because freezing slows down their system and makes it so that it extends that torture. So, like, yeah, it's
We're not nice to fish, is what
well, we're not nice to any animal, but
Yeah.
when it's something that you can look at and not have some kind of a comparison to how it's feeling, you just assume it's nothing.
Fish can't scream.
Yeah, essentially, it's
Yeah.
what is that? The I have no mouth and I must scream, whatever.
Mm-hmm. They just bloop.
Sorry to say that if ever, somebody hears like I really like fish, and now they're like,
I like fish. You're right, they're not cute. So my ability to care is like, I want the fish not to suffer, but I'm not gonna go out of my way.
yeah,
I feel bad about
it's not
it.
your job to go out of way.
But yeah. Well, no,
But you are also the person that will buy the absolute cheapest thing.
Yeah.
And at that point, that is almost guaranteed to be the most inhumane way of killing.
I mean, I've gone fishing and taken fish and not been nice.
Well, yeah, but also you're not thinking about that
also-
because
yeah.
the studies are there to help in determining
I'll
that.
bonk the fish.
You bonk them?
I will bonk the fish going forward. I'll bonk those fish furiously.
I feel like this is going to be one of those situations where like they're trying to like somebody's being put to death and the machine for electrifying them isn't working. So while they're being electrified, you're also there with like beating them with like sticks.
Yeah.
You're not doing it right, and in doing so, you're making it worse.
Gotta slap them against the rock. That's what you do with the fish. Problem is, if you rupture any of their organs while doing that, you're gonna ruin the fish meat.
So their suffering means nothing compared to the quality of the fish.
Well, if you can't eat it, then it's pointless.
Well, no, you're saying the quality.
Nobody's gonna eat like fish meat where the organs have all ruptured all over the meat. It's gonna be nasty.
Or you could just eat something else. A nice salad.
I did. It had delicious chicken in it, which I'm sure were treated very nicely.
Okay, I guarantee you they weren't. The problem with, I don't know if they do it with fish, probably in some way. The problem with chicken is, I mean, one is the humane treatment of it. It is pretty bad in a lot of them. But it's the fact that we genetically altered them to be more meaty, and in doing so made them suffer.
Oh yeah,
That's worse.
Turkeys are even worse. They can't even breed by themselves anymore. It's all artificial insemination because they can't. They're physically incapable. Farm raised turkeys. Hey, so there's just a guy whose entire job is just to extract the necessary material from male turkeys. I think
Is that the scientific term for it?
Yes,
now?
the necessary material.
Hey, babe, do you want my necessary materials?
Like, you can think you have a crappy job, but at least you don't have that job. Unless you do have that job, then all I can say is thank you for providing us turkeys. They're delicious. We've had one in the freezer for almost a year now.
You know, it costs us whole nothing.
Yeah.
I was going to say something, but I forgot. And on that topic, I probably don't want to say anything.
There's a turkey on the screen.
My nieces and nephews were playing some game where they were holding my niece was holding a phone to her head with like words on it, and then they have to try to say to her what word is on her head without saying the word.
I've heard of it. I don't remember.
Yeah,
the name
I mean
of it.
it's a pretty simple game. It's just on the phone version, and I was watching them play, and they had turkey come up, and they're trying to say words. I just went, and she said turkey.
It works.
It worked. It worked pretty good.
Hey, babe. Do you want my necessary?
There's a lot of quotations in there.
It's a good one.
I can't.
But no, when it comes to fish, I like farm raised anyways over ocean caught. Ocean caught, they process them right there on the ship. It's just basically out of the ocean into a factory line.
I can't.
Farm raised, I imagine it's not all too different.
Well, if they're processing them right there, it probably means that it might be more humane because it just ends it quicker.
Yeah.
Where if it's in a farm, they might not.
Like they're yanking them out of the ocean and tossing them right onto an assembly line on a lot of those ships. They get processed pretty quick. The thing is, they pull them up so quickly. Is what happens is that their stomachs burst out of their mouths, and that's probably not too great
Probably not.
pain wise.
Let's quote 690. Nice. I didn't even realize we were past 600.
Crazy. Look at this child. It's a feared. It's a feared.
It's a what?
It's a feared. That's what they always say in The Witcher. Instead of they're afraid, they're feared. Because I guess that's how they said it in olden times. We're bringing it back. Also, I very much want to make the word, what was it? Huzzah. That needs to come back.
Go to the Ren Fair.
I think it just needs to come back in general
Like
conversation.
the Ren Fair, it's
Huzzah.
everywhere. I can guarantee you that more than likely, other than the title of the Ren Fair, the biggest word on the first page is going to be huzzah.
Huzzah.
Oh,
It's fun to say.
I don't know how to spell that. They didn't put huzzah on the front page.
Yeah.
Where's huzzah? They usually
Somewhere
have it on
page.
there.
No, they want you to do things.
Yeah, 7
There it
weekends of
is.
huzzah.
Huzzah and cheers.
It's there. And then there it again, huzzah. They love that word.
It's a great word.
I love these sponsors of beer. Yeah. Windows.
Yeah, they always do have like the competition and Pepsi.
Pepsi, I don't
I remember Pepsi, but I don't go to the Ren Fair to drink Pepsi.
Yeah, like I know this one, but this one I see
I like that one.
It's a good one, and they have it everywhere.
Yeah.
And then the other ones that they hid back here.
Ooh.
Like, wait, does that change depending on?
I don't
Okay,
know.
it does shuffle. I'm like, did some people pay for like front things?
It's random. The woodchuck cider is really good, and they always mix it with Fireball whiskey, and that's really good.
we got that the one time. That was where like they were telling us to go back to work making beer because we were dressed as the monks, and we were when we were buying those, and we're like, no, everybody needs a break.
Woodchuck cider mixed with Fireball, it just works really well.
Yeah,
And they always mix it strong.
they're big on the huzzahs. Oh, see Kyle with his wedding. This is what he should have done.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure it's expensive as heck to get married at the wedding fair.
What this is showing like the wedding. They actually have where you can do like, it's this one. They have this like big standing thing, and I'm pretty sure that you can do the full dress up or whatever. And there is a king and queen of the Ren Fair, and I believe they will come and do the ceremony. Yeah. So like they try to make it like a kingly wedding.
I wonder if they rent out that space even when the Ren Fair isn't going on, because that stuff's just there. Even when the Ren Fair isn't happening. I wonder if they've rent that space out for stuff.
That's the other 6ix9ine quote that's really good.
You do a lot of LARPing there. No, that's a crappy quote.
That's a good one. It's another nice quote.
In Zounds.
I don't know if people doing LARPing.
At the Ren Fair ground?
Yeah. Well, no, you're talking like outside of normal. Yeah. Oh, that would work great for LARPing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, imagine setting up like the biggest D&D game.
Yeah. That's what LARPing is.
Well, yeah, but
with like costumes and stuff.
Big. No, like you could do crazy. That would be kind of neat. I think the difficulty is I bet you some of those stores are custom set up for certain vendors, and they probably don't want people messing with their stuff.
Well, just don't mess with the stores. You can
some would have
walk
to
around them.
You could have your shops and stuff. No, that'd be kind of cool. The Ren Fairgrounds are huge.
And they're only utilized like a fourth of the year. Not even. The summer months are just too hot. Although it does start in August.
Well, they just have a map. But this place is big.
It's big.
Because normally we come in... I think we come in No, we don't come in Kingsgate. I think we come in Queensgate.
We come in Kingsgate, I think, most of the time, maybe. We come in wherever the toy shop is. I want to say Kingsgate. I think we've come in through Queensgate before, too.
Trying to...
Just depends which
That's Queensgate. I think we usually come in Seagate?
Maybe?
No, we come in Kingsgate.
Yeah.
That's the Huzzah stage.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You come in. It's not quite a fully accurate map, but this place is like I don't think they have a reference.
That's only open like a few months out of the year.
But this is probably a mile across.
But that's the thing. It's only open on the weekends.
Maybe
too,
more. It's big. It's big. Like they're showing tiny little buildings, but like this strip right here probably has like 4 times that many buildings. It's big.
It's so they have to use it for other stuff. That space.
Do they not have like
more than just the Ren Fair? Because it's a lot of like useful entertainment space.
That's weird image to take.
Yes. Stage acts.
I thought they were retiring.
Oh, that's right, Penn and Teller.
Oh yeah, because they got started at the Ren Fair. And this is the picture of them at the Ren. Oh, that didn't even open it. That's the picture of them starting at our Ren Fair.
Yeah, that's how they got their start.
Penn and Teller introduced one another by we performed their first show together at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival in August 1975.
They're old.
Yeah, they performed there until 1981. Oh yeah, and then they went to
years.
Then they went further.
Yeah. Their act
but they're actually going to be here this year, so that's kind of cool. Jason Mraz,
that's going to be packed though. It's going to be absolutely.
Oh yeah, but there's no. I don't know if it's a ticketed event.
I think you just have to be there at the Ren Fair. I mean, you pay for a ticket to get into the Ren Fair.
Yeah, it's nothing special for them. These are the standard extras. But they do like you can do the Feast of Fancy, which is just like huge feast. It's expensive, but it's in this giant hall that's really cool. The pub crawl is really raunchy. You get a special glass. And
I think the people who raunchy'd it were.
Yeah, they're not there
gone.
anymore.
They're not gonna
But that costs that you get like I think 3-4 free beers, so that kind of covers it. The Much Ado About Mead we do, and if you do the math there, that actually adds up to the equivalent amount of just buying the mead from there. So you just get a show for the cost of buying that much alcohol. So that's kind of nice.
I enjoy the trivia. It's fun. I'm good at like medieval trivia.
I want to do the pub crawl and Penn and Teller. Though the Penn and Teller is probably going to be just seeing when their show is running and going over to the area that it is.
And maybe you'll catch a glimpse
because
of them, because
like,
people are going to camp out for
it's
that.
like they have Crown Stage and they have
The big stage, I think, is the Crown Stage. That's probably where they're going to be.
The big one, because I think that's where. No, I don't think Puke and Snot go over there. I think they are.
They would almost be better off doing their
they're
act
here.
at the jousting area, because then people could gather around it.
The joust track. They have corgi races and dog races, and it's hilarious and awesome.
Then they also have
do
actual
actual jousting.
Yeah,
they do actual jousting, and it's actually pretty fun. They did some fun.
Yeah.
They even did one year where the guys got off their horse and like fake fought for a little while because like they thought one of the guys cheated, and then like the one guy fell and he's like and then he got back up and just beat him over there. It was hilarious. It was just funny show.
No,
they improv the hell out of it.
Nolan, who are you going to get married to? The anticipation's killing me.
So the pub crawl is fun, but it is literally a pub crawl. You do get like where they clear out some of the areas and you're kind of the ones there. They put on a bit of a show, but it's usually just, at least the previous people, because different people are running it now. It was just raunchy jokes and whatever. And there's a rule, I don't know if they're going to keep it going, where during the pub crawl, when you're walking with the pub crawl group, if anybody comes up and asks what you are doing, you have to go through this whole song about it. And the problem is everybody knows that's a thing. So you are stopped probably 7 to 8 times between each place where somebody will ask, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" And everybody will stop and they'll be like, "All right, we got to do it." And it's hilarious. But after like the 4th, 5th, 6th time, you're like, "Oh, okay, can we get going?"
Well, Nolan, I was hoping you'd ask. So, but you got to get divorced first. It's can't share. So you're gonna have to let Silver down nicely. Tell her I'll make it up to her by sending her more art of her book characters.
I bet you she'll love that.
Yes.
Why be married when you can have sexy dragon pictures?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the entire furry community.
Fly out. Just can't.
I'm gonna probably have to copy this over. Those tickets do sell out though, so we'll have to. We'll have. I think right now they won't, but we'll want to make sure. They usually have, I think, two pub crawls a day. The Much Ado About Mead, I think, has 2 shows too, but there's only a limited amount of people they let in. I think it's like 20 or 30, maybe.
Out of context, that's hilarious.
Yeah, actually, yes, that's perfect. No, I think I can't remember what we were rated, but I know our state fair is considered one of the best in the United States. I think it's only beat by Texas.
Texas is the only one that's
Larger, yes. And our Ren Fair is one of the best in the States as well.
The state fair is a lot. And the Ren Fair's kind of become a lot, but I still enjoy it.
The state fair it's just a bunch of people there to eat weird food.
Yeah.
With some stuff going on, but most of the stuff is just advertisements for companies.
Yeah.
That all the rest is whatever. It doesn't change every year. It's the exact same thing. You end up just going through your same little pins on the board of the things you want to do that you did last year, but now are slightly different. Where the Ren Fair, everybody's dressed up.
It's drinks and shows.
The shows are easy, not even if you're not able to get a good seat at the front, you can always like just stand outside somewhere and then be able to see
generally
it.
get a seat in the back.
Most of there's a lot of those have a lot of seating, and they're always running, so like you can just wait for the next one.
I think that's the one thing I was a little disappointed last time is we didn't sit down and just watch shows.
But also we went twice before, so one time we kind of did, I think, some more shows. It depends though, because if like Puke and Snot have speakers set up, but like if you're not like at least somewhere up close, then it's just hard to hear unless it's a visual show. Our fair is only good if you have your tetanus shot.
That's not very very encouraging. I know a few of the booths are going to be newer, so they're not going to have the moss growth that the booths often have, because a couple of them burnt down.
Which is sad. Some of those like looked aged because they were aged. I mean, the Ren Fair's been going now for like 50 years, essentially, and some of the stuff is just that old. So it looks like an old aged wood elf something with like real moss, a real tree growing up through the middle of it. So you're in the middle of an actual store with a tree in the center, going up through a roof that has a hole in it to let it go all the way up. Like you can't just build that. Like it's kind of neat.
I can't fly.
Got that dragon statue, but that's behind his head. You can't see it at the Ren Fair.
Again, it's the. Is it though? Yeah, you can see the wings.
Yep.
Hold on. Here, I'll do this for you, Michael.
Oh, for me?
It is. Oh, I broke it.
And the camera's broken.
No, it's a very touchy cable.
And it has me just holding my chin, thinking deeply.
Oh, I can fix that. The cable's touchy.
I do like that pose. Yeah, I saw my face too long now. I'm getting all self-conscious.
Okay, I might do it again. If I can do it.
Yeah, there you go. Gonna break it again?
Nope, it worked.
That's just that's just showing off your YouTube thing. Yeah, the dragon next to the YouTube thing.
There you go.
Focused. It's handcrafted. It's a little lantern, though.
He's trying to get out of the way and have a microphone.
He's never lit it.
It's very nice.
We have lamp oil. You could totally light that.
Yeah, but then it would get dirty with like black soot.
Yeah, what?
I don't want that. A little biting. There.
Yes, he was showing his glass dragon.
Michael's pun. That zoom is so far away. No, Scoots.
Scoot, no, those cookies. No, you broke the camera again.
You can't stop her. You can't stop her. So now I have to like just swap the inputs, and then it goes.
I want to swat at the horse.
Should I make it back up a bit more?
You just say womp, or just go womp, and she just falls. She just collapses to the ground, unmoving. Been great.
Oh, it's a lamp. I thought it was an electric lamp when you said lamp. No, it's no. I mean, it's not really a lamp. It's an oil. It's
an oil lamp.
It's just.
It's an oil lamp. That is a lamp.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to light that. I thought about just removing the glass peg from there, but I just left it. It's the dragon. That's
it's
cool.
part of the.
Because it's just going to make everything dirty, and especially down here.
No, lamp oil burns clean.
No, it's gonna. I still don't want to burn that.
I'm not saying you have to.
It's gonna be dirty. Hell, Azzy. I'm talking about Ren Fairs.
Yeah.
Can't fly. Can't fly.
I also have some like wooden dragons that are outside the door that Michael and Adam bought for my birthday last year.
Mm-hmm.
That also like is kind of, you can see it, the dragon skull is right there. Hold on.
There. A lot of nerdy stuff in this house.
That one I picked up there too, but that one I think you can find elsewhere too. But that one I just picked up there. Do I have to dress up? You don't have to, but I would say
It depends.
A higher than you would think portion of people do dress up.
Not the majority.
Not the majority,
So you don't have to.
but I would say it's probably like 40%. Like, it's crazy how many people actually do
Well, a
dress
lot
up.
of them are the Ren
there's-
Fair staff too.
Yeah, there's the staff people, but there's just a lot of people that do dress up. Some people go crazy. There's a guy that dresses up like the Witcher, that has like a full like leather outfit with the swords and everything. A little bit bigger than probably the Witcher would be, but still like the outfit is crazy good.
I will say,
it's pretty cool stuff.
the first year I was here, there was somebody dressed up like a gladiator Rainbow Dash
Can't
at the Ren Fair, and I thought that was pretty cool.
There's somebody that once dressed up like a medieval stormtrooper. Mm-hmm. That was kind of neat.
There's
too.
a lot of Geralts. Geralt's of Rivia walking around. Everybody wants to be Geralt.
Well, if you can find, if it's a popular thing, you can probably get on Etsy and find like
Yeah.
stuff and all that.
All that leather looked very uncomfortable though.
Oh yeah,
Walking around the
especially
heat.
in I don't think we've ever been there when it's been super hot.
Yeah.
But if it was, whoa. And they do rain or shine. If it's a downpour torrential rain, they're still running it. They don't stop it. It's and they only run during daylight hours because there's no electricity set up for lights. So once the sun starts going down, they start shutting down.
Yeah, and they don't want a bunch of drunkards after hours anyways, which is what it would absolutely turn into. It's just people drunk in the dark. Because having the whole place lit up with like by firelight and oil lanterns and stuff would be pretty cool.
It'd be expensive though, and most of the people that are going to be doing that are going to be the drunks. They're
Yeah.
going to be there to drink and not being able to see
Late
very
into the
well,
night.
and having that you're just kind of asking for liability.
Yeah, people trying to get out of the parking lot late at night,
I think
all drunk.
I think they close at
dark.
like 6 or something. What is
Yeah.
their hours?
No, there's a reason they don't do it. It would say on the tickets, I would think, what the hours are.
Maybe. Oh, it's, there's a parking pass. Motorized scooter. I don't know if I've ever seen a motorized scooter. There's usually
It'd be
like
hard to get
the
around.
pulled cart where it's like a couple of super beef guys going yanking around like they're beef, and they'll just run around
Yeah.
places.
I don't see hours.
Yeah, I can't remember the actual
Maybe in
hours.
the FAQ.
It's basically the exact same every year. Dragons.
Fucking
What time is it open? Oh, they're 9 to 7.
9 to 7. And you want to get there early if you want to do any of the pub crawl or the like.
No, you can buy the tickets beforehand.
Well, yes, but if you, well, yeah, you can.
The pub crawl, or the 1 year, I think for the pub, we did the pub crawl and the Nothing Much to Do About Mead 1 year, and I think we both bought them early, or the pub crawl. I think we
as
bought
soon as
day
we
of.
walked through the door and we got in early and we managed to get them.
I think Much to Do
through the
About Mead
door.
we bought beforehand,
Yeah,
but the pub crawl I think we tried same day and it worked out.
yeah. I think we were like one of the last to get a spot. Hopefully there won't be any sun, Nolan, because I think last time I was there was sun, and I burnt. It was unpleasant.
Yeah, you do burn pretty easy.
Says the ginger child.
Yeah, but usually I wear a hat and do other things to like keep it from affecting me.
No, there's quite a bit of Ren Fair stuff around here. It's all his, but yeah, it's around.
fly.
They don't sell a lot of ponies, like My Little Pony stuff at the Ren Fair. It's very disappointing. I thought a pony would work well at a Ren Fair. It's
You could. You can do it, Michael. You can dress as a mare.
oh boy, it's not gonna happen. But oh boy,
Good luck getting in the door.
what are you talking about? Just show up in a fur suit.
Like
There's
no, I don't know about a fursuit. Like you could. No, I would say no, only because it's all dirt. That thing would be such a
would
grime hole afterward.
be
Oh,
absolutely nasty.
Fly.
That would be what is referred to as a mistake. They wouldn't stop you from coming in. They would just question your reasoning skills.
I've seen people with like furry heads, but I never like the full fursuit.
Well, you just saw somebody there with a dragon head.
Yeah.
So
Well, dragon head 100% makes sense.
yes. I've only ever seen the Rainbow Dash cosplay at the Ren Fair the one time, and it was kind of gladiator themed. So well, they did have a whole episode where they dressed up in little jousting outfits and had their own little Ren Fair. So you know, all comes together. Feed that horse a sandwich. One sandwich.
I had to do something a little different because I'm unsure how I want to do the certain sounds. Because he doesn't really finish the sentence before starting the next one because he's kind of in a panic.
It's almost an hour into stream and I haven't asked. Chat, how y'all doing? I really want to hear about your week. I do. You never share.
Tell me about your mama.
Yes. In detail. Is she nice? I'm gonna see my mother in about a month and a week. I'm looking forward to it. So, if you could spend a week at, say, the North Shore with your family, or spend a week at home doing absolutely nothing, which one sounds better?
Usually stay at home.
That was quick. It's like you could spend time with your parents.
Well, the thing is,
a whole week.
I've been up
Trapped.
to the North Shore with my family, and we've done like a couple, like for 2 days.
A whole week.
A whole week. I don't know who I would be with and care about with doing that.
Your parents, sir.
No, I mean,
they
I don't
might
care
be
if it's parents or
watching.
not. I just don't think it'd be something I'd enjoy for a week. A couple days, sure,
Yeah.
but not a whole week. But the sun is my enemy. I live my family, but I also hate pants.
You live your family.
I don't. That phrase confuses me.
Wait, well,
I don't know what your family has to do with pants.
Yes, he lives them, but he hates pants.
You hate them.
I do, and you make me wear them around the house.
You can in public is up to you.
Well, no, I mean, it's either going to be pants or boxers, because that's all I got.
But I'm saying if you're out of the house,
Yeah.
you don't have to wear pants. I'm not stopping you.
Oh, okay. Well, now the police might, though.
That's not my. That's you still. They haven't told you to not do it.
I wonder how often you could walk around in your, like, underwear before the police would, like, just be tired of your ass. I don't think they could ever, like, put you away for walking around in your boxers.
Boxers, no, because you're not technically showing anything.
Yeah.
If a woman can walk around in a bikini, a man should be able to walk around in whitey tighties. So
Yeah.
like, I mean, it depends on like how tight.
Pants reduce snow pity. Nolan, do you need your snow pity at the max? Is this why you hate pants? Look at those horses right there. They're full of snow pity. So you don't. So you not. Do not. Everyone needs that snow pity, Nolan. But we can't match. Look at that screen. Look at those two little horses. They're absolutely chocked full of it. All that snow pity up in there. Especially that little tiny one. Super cute. Like how ponies have to grow into their heads.
That's mean.
I mean, Scootaloo's head's just about as big as Rainbow's. But her body's half the size. They gotta grow into their heads. I think that was the joke with like horse foals, as their heads are so big. Their necks can't hold them up yet. Then they will snap if they're not careful. The adult ponies, their proportions are okay. Fillies and foals, I mean, they just got big heads and little chibi bodies. But like the baby horses, they're in danger for their lives if they turn their head wrong. It's really harrowing. Cartoons. Is that what it was? Matt, I don't remember the cartoon bumper other than it was like cartoons. But that's probably not what you wanted. So you're gonna have to explain it to me. Don't worry, the foals have very little brains, so not too much extra weight. Well, that's good. But that just means they might like collapse easily because there's just nothing in there. It's just air. IR baboon. I am weasel.
What are you doing, Michael?
What? That's the appropriate response to IR baboon. Is I am weasel. Do you not know? He's not cool like me, kids.
I'm not from the silent generation.
Dial M for monkey. That's right. Cow and chicken. It's fun. A sexually provocative demon in a kid's cartoon. That's what that was about.
Dial M for monkey?
Dial M for monkey was just a super monkey who had a banana. A little suit. I don't remember very much about the monkey.
I don't remember it at all.
It's Cartoon Network.
I didn't really watch much
90s Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network was a cable, right?
Yeah, which my parents stole.
Yeah, I didn't steal it.
Well, your parents didn't love you as much as mine did.
No, your parents were not stealing it for you.
No, they weren't.
Your dad was stealing it because he had no other way to cope with life.
It was so easy back then. Before they made like the digital boxes and made it harder for people to steal cable.
I can't
Cable companies didn't switch from an analog signal to a digital one for your benefit. They switched for theirs. But it is a better signal now. More compressed. Better picture. Can't really complain in the long run. Back in the early days of cable, gather around, children. I'll tell you an old man story. There wasn't really any way to stop somebody from having cable in their house except to just unplug it at the street. It's basically somebody would just come along, unplug the cable from your house, and that would be how they turned off your cable. Because there was no box that determined whether or not you should be receiving the signal or not. It was all analog. It just ran down the line. Anybody who connected to that line would just have cable.
Hey, buddy.
So if you just went to the box that was at everybody's house,
Like, cable is a cable toy. Cable, well, paid cable used to be. But scrambled channels, that you would need some kind of decoder box, but people could probably spoof that too.
Yeah, people know how to spoof
yeah.
it. But like standard cable, all it was if you wanted cable and you didn't want to pay for it, you just went to the street corner where your box was. You found where the cable line could very easily be plugged in, and you plugged it in. There was a lot of people in my trailer park where you could see just blatantly tampered with cable boxes, where they had just gone to the corner.
Hold on a sec. I'm trying to hear something.
No.
Hey,
Right off of him.
hey, buddy.
What is he saying?
Fall right off of him.
I don't know.
Is he yet?
Just fall right off of him.
Hey, buddy.
Like, it says fall right off of here, and then he says something
Right
else.
off of him.
Hey,
Is it yet?
Fall right off of him.
I don't
It's
know.
close enough to yet.
Maybe they know. You guys can hear it. Chat.
I could probably just have her open his mouth and it was not going to matter.
hey,
I'm gonna get another drink.
I think I'll be good right now. I drank some stuff yesterday too. I'm going to take a break.
I also had a blue moon yesterday. Like C-SPAN.
Yes, because if I'm pirating cable, I'm doing it for C-SPAN.
Most paid cable channels were just porn channels.
hey.
And I think there was actually a reason for that. Like if you went back to early cable, there was just R-rated content on standard cable. And then people got upset that their kids could just turn on the porn channel when they weren't looking. And they had no way of keeping it out of their homes.
The porn channel?
The porn channel. There would be channels for porn. And so they started requiring it to be separated. And then, of course, cable companies were like, well, if we have to separate it, we can charge extra for it. And then you ended up with pay-per-view.
Well, they're just going to try to find ways to monetize things no matter what.
Yeah. Like, well, if we got to pay, we got to go through all this trouble to separate it out. Might as well just make money. Skin MX. Yeah. Heck, I remember our local radio station where I grew up. There was a DJ called Mr. Skin or something. And they would just talk about the best porn movies. And this was like on FM radio. On WEBN, I think, was the station in Cincinnati. My childhood was weird.
I like the idea that you essentially did the read Playboy for the articles, and that you couldn't watch the porn, but you listened to things about the porn.
Yeah, see, they would talk about the plot lines and whether or not the movie was actually good or not. And they would be like, you know what? Actually, a pretty good film. I mean, yeah, it's a porno, but it had some decent story in it.
What was the Werewolf in London?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the one that had the really weird like porno theater thing?
I don't know, but I know that movie. Furries gotta love it.
But I thought there was like a scene where he went to like a porno theater for whatever, but it ended up just like, they don't show anything. It's just like he went to a porno theater, but it was just horrible. Like, it was hilariously horrible.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was made for that movie or not. I thought it was that movie though.
Space Ghost Coast to Coast, yes. That guy passed away this year. I was sad.
Space Ghost?
The guy who played Space Ghost, yeah. He passed away this year. I was very sad to hear it. I do remember Space Ghost Coast to Coast and its predecessor, Cartoon Planet. George Lowe, yeah. I even liked him when he passed away. I posted.
You liked him when he passed away?
Well, when he passed away, I posted video of him in Aqua Teen Hunger Force just playing himself, trying to basically sell It's like, nobody ever calls me for a job. I need money. And he's like doing voices, like voiceovers for movies. And he's like, how's that any different? I could do that. It was pretty funny. Oh, good old George Lowe.
But I can't fly. I'll just
He did
fall
not have
right
much
off of
range.
here.
He had his voice, though. It was a good voice.
Okay.
Hey, remember the bits he did for Perfect Hair Forever, where he just reprised the role of Space Ghost, but he was drunk and out of work. That was fun.
Oh, these tongues are. There is no. There's no bone to it, so the most I can do is literally just that.
No tongue bone. Does anybody else here only watch this stream with the only want is to hug the horse that he's currently animating? So that's why I sit here. And he never lets me.
You can't. It's digital, Michael.
I don't believe you. It's a trick. Horses are real, chat. And he's keeping them from us.
I can't fly. I'll just fall right off of here.
The tongue on some of the other models was easier in how it maintained them out. Like the current ones are kind of separated from the jaw because the jaw is a different bone now. So this one, because the tongue does follow the bottom jaw, makes so you can do no lip syncing for the tongue and get away with it, but still. I mean, it's always better too.
Yeah, I'm glad to be the other guy, Sir Edward. You met him in a car a long time ago. He told me a story how his agent was scraping off weird growth off his back with a fork. Weird
can't
growth
fly.
off his back with a fork.
Just fall right off of here.
Hey, but
Well, oh, you saw him at a con. That makes more sense than seeing him in a car.
Yeah,
Like that's
in a car. That's kind of a unique, like one-to-one experience. Yeah, thanks, Ezzy. I know that actually the reason that I've been streaming this line doing animation stuff is I know there is some people that just like seeing the process. I don't know why they've been, I don't think anybody's been watching for a whole 10 years, but I know there are people that find interest in it, and that's what I'm here for.
I'm not allowed
Fly.
to
I'll just
leave.
fall right off of here.
they'll just take
It's
over.
the truth.
I can't.
I will say the one person I've heard an in-car story with
I
a
can't fly. I'll
semi-famous
just fall
person
right off of here.
was actually
Right, buddy.
Jay Howler.
Howler.
He rode in the car with Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps one time, and he told me about that.
Right, rode in a con.
He rode in a con. He was riding around in a con.
Con in the back seat.
Apparently, he did not enjoy the car ride,
Just fall right
but
off
he
of
still got to
here.
do it.
Hey, but
Why, the guy was just weird?
The guy was a bit much, even for him
Oh,
at the time. He says, from what you can tell, he's changed a lot since.
so just growing up. And plus, I think
he's grown up.
when you're at doing some of that stuff, you have a personality that kind of starts merging into your own personality, and it just starts becoming where you're doing your on-screen thing and to another person, which that's weird. Like, it's sometimes the people being over the top and in front of camera, sure, but if you just do that in real life to somebody, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck is wrong with this person?" Like, it doesn't translate well.
Jay hung out with him when he was like in the group with the JonTron guy, and I think when he started hanging out with Danny, Danny chilled him out some as a
I'll
person.
just fall right off of here.
So Eddie's gotten us a few days ago, specifically starting off with ponies, and I've just been learning and observing. Have you done animation before, or is this kind of a new thing? Because if I could kind of show you, like, because we're pretty early in the process for this video, and I can kind of show you what how my process works and how I generally do things from beginning to end.
I'll fly. I'll just fall right off.
Did I finish Scoots here?
It'll just take over.
Yeah, I did.
I can't fly. I'll just fall. But I can't fly.
Scoot, scoot.
Can't fly. I'll just.
Somebody needs to make like outfits for the. Oh no, she exploded. Even she's like, oh no, my butt escaped.
It's being taken by satellite.
Is that one of her moves? Oh no.
So that's what happens when you copy something that's locked and paste it to one that's unlocked, or vice versa.
She's a tiny horse.
Oh, yeah, this is locked too. It just must have been locked differently.
I am attempting to learn Blender bit by bit, little by little.
I've done a bit of animation before in Blender a few years back, just making idle animations. Oh yeah, idle animations actually to me can be kind of harder because it's like small nuanced little things. I did a bunch of the idle animations originally for Overmare, and it's like you're having to just make somebody stay alive without actually having a direction of what they're doing. It's difficult. Like here, if they're talking, you have certain inflections you can do for them doing it, but like in idle, it's just like have them doing a thing that's not supposed to be watched. It's kind of annoying, but it's also like more difficult for that. But yeah, we've been working on this. All we have. Oh, she got black eye my goal. She got punched.
Oh no. You punched the horse.
We're working on an anthology short, and I usually color code my stuff because I'm really big on that feeling you get when you at least have a little bit of progress, and having it color code is much easier check marks to say like I made progress on that shot. Where red, I put red once we've done, we've locked in the camera and kind of the positioning, the cinematography, and then I go to orange once I've done the lip syncing, the key and the main keyframing, and then I go to green once I've smoothed that out and like kind of animated it. I used to kind of do orange where I would do the smoothing to get to there, but I really don't need to do that now. The smoothing is pretty quick. So that's why, like right now, some of these have lip syncing done.
Ready for what?
To jump.
Wait, you can't be serious. I'm not gonna jump.
You can fly, just like me. You take a big deep breath, you step off, and your body will just do the rest. It'll just take over.
But I can't fly. I'll just fall right off of here.
Then I don't have the lip syncing done on this, and it's very rough
Nothing
keyframes.
like you. I can't fly.
You can. I promise you can.
Yeah, Michael broke that. She's supposed to hit the ground, but Michael broke her.
She fly now.
She does. Like
She learned to fly.
she's trying to look a rainbow like you little asshole.
It's a good thing I learned to fly.
So yeah, I'm big on, I like to be able to visually look at it and see progress being made. If it's just all the same color and I don't know where's what when, it's demotivating. Where now I can look at it and go, oh, I just have to do the keyframing and the lip sync for these shots, and these ones have already ready for smoothing and and blending. So it's nice being able to go boom and see that. I also name them so that I know what they're saying and what they are. It's not really important if it's got like 8 shots, but if it's longer, it does. This one, because of this grass being there, I need to where's my console? There's a thing you can type into the console to remove those, and I just can't remember that code, so I went and put it in the thing there.
She's doing it, guys.
Yeah, now it'll go, boop, goes away.
Scootaloo finally learned to fly.
Fall right off of here.
Hey, buddy. You're gonna love it. I promise.
Okay, I don't want to do lip syncing again, so let's try to get Scootaloo's keyframing done here. Because right now I wanted to try to get the cinematography, like how I'm doing with the cameras and everything. So I just have her kind of doing very basic head motion, but not full body motion. So now that that's done, though, I don't care. I will do all the detail now. But where is her keyframes right now? The one problem with horses is their IK rig sucks to such a degree that I just don't use it. It works, but you have to fight it so much because
Can't squish.
because
You like to squish.
IK rigs work best when the elbow is at an even distance, but when you have it this tiny distance and this long distance, it ends up being that, like, if they want to go and like bend down, you only can bend down this like a certain small distance, and it just very quickly starts corrupting and collapsing the legs. And because of that very short distance, the elbow's moving much quicker and easier than usual. The back legs are even worse, where when you squat, they usually start going out and then they'll just reverse themselves. It's frustrating. So I end up just going without an IK rig, which is kind of annoying. But I feel like if you put a little bit extra prep into it, it's not that bad, and it just saves the headache. Okay, so I think because of that, yeah, so she does have full body on this one now.
The newest My Little Pony news is still the card game. But it says My Little Pony debuts first ever trading card game, and that's not true.
Oh yeah, they had plenty.
But it says, but that's a lie. I am curious if they sell those sets of cards, the cons, I might get one. It's rare we get new official merchandise. Oh no, Ghost Fact. One Ghost Fact, huh? Okay, here's your Ghost Fact. Do you know where the goo for the, you know those freezer packs you can put in the freezer and then they substitute for ice, you know that goo in there? That's ghost ectoplasma. It's true, they get that from ghosts. So if you ever get like an ice pack and you're like, wow, this is really nice. Thank somebody's dead grandma, because she provided that through her ghost goo. That's someone's grandma's ghost goo. Thank you.
Ghost goo.
Yeah. That's what's in there. That's why it's all blue and stuff. Have you ever opened one of those up? It's it's ghost goo. That's your Ghost Fact.
Oh, her eyes are supposed to be closed here. That's why it looks weird.
Don't drink it. That was your thinking, Chad. Don't drink the ghost goo. Will not be liable if you drink the ghost goo.
But Michael, you know how this works.
Because I said not do it, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Butts.
Call them butts.
Mm-hmm. Just because you might get ghost powers doesn't mean you should do it.
I was laughing. Adam got the salads, and I don't like cucumbers. So you put up, instead no cucumbers. But if you look at the salad, it just says no cucks. Like, good. I don't want any cucks in my salad.
It does seem that we've been eating a lot of salads lately. Probably not the worst.
I don't know when last time Adam cooked was.
It's been a while. I ate the corn chowder this morning, and I told my coworker, he's like, "What'd you have for breakfast?" I had corn chowder. And he looks at me, he's like, "Why do you eat like an old prospector?" Like, I don't know. It's like just pork and beans and freaking corn chowder, and it's because I cook, man. Gotta get some biscuits and gravy. I do have like half a pound.
But biscuits and gravy is just bread and fat.
Yeah. I don't understand the issue.
That's why, it's.
You're not wrong, but that should be a advertisement for it.
Do you like bread and fat? Have our starch and lard.
I do have half a pound of bacon. I can probably in the fridge. I need to use. We can probably use it Thursday.
I don't know. It's going to be like 87, 85 and humid.
Ugh.
That's why I'm like, if you want to grill. Otherwise, I just said about broads. Well, 55% humidity, but that's what today was. So it's going to be, but that's the only day we can do it. So
Yeah,
there's some
55 is not bad.
Jay's got some friends that we know from cons and stuff that are coming down.
If there's a breeze, it won't be too bad.
8 mile an hour.
Yeah, that's a breeze.
If it was Saturday, it would have been 20, which actually had me a little concerned if we did it that weekend.
Yeah, it's 20 mile an hour winds. It's concerning with a fire.
With how wet everything's been.
I don't know. We could get in somebody's barn.
We've gotten so much rain. It won't stop. And I don't think you have to worry about a barn.
Well, Sir Edward, I think I explained that. You get it out of old ghost ladies, or inside those freezer packs. But you should not, I repeat, you should not drink the goo out of the freezer packs, Sir Edward. Stop trying to find ghost goo.
Fall right off of her. Fall right off of her. Fall right off of her.
What happened to Rainbow? She drank some of the ghost goo, and now she's blue. She didn't used to be blue, but she just couldn't help herself.
Why bug blue?
Horses aren't supposed to be blue.
Why bug blue shining?
Why bug big? That's a great comic.
I just love the phrase. Why bug big shining?
Bug wasn't big when I left her here shining. Answer me, shining. That would make a good anthology bit. But it would probably be, if you really wanted to do it, it would probably be at least courteous to ask the writer of the original comic.
I don't know how many comic dubs have, and also I have no idea how many people have just made audio dubs of my videos, re-uploaded it with the idea of like, I can do this, right? No, actually, I have the ability to DCMA. That's the thing at work. DMCA. Why they're so close?
It's just how it goes. We have this customer at our work that's just called International Drilling Equipment, but they always go by their abbreviation, IDE. So
yeah, but that's a very common
Yeah.
acronym for especially tech stuff.
Right off of her.
Oh. I'm debating on whether I want another drink, but I don't really want another drink.
I do, but also like I had a full beer yesterday, and nothing sounds too good right now.
We only have a lot of Blue Moon and some odds and ends. I'm gonna have to pick up some more stuff tomorrow.
Most of the stuff that I picked up has been for mixing stuff.
It's not. It's like we have alcohol, but it's just not interesting.
I'll just
Alcohol.
fall right off.
We've become snobs. Mm-hmm. What have we become? Snobs. I just said. John, at least we're not as bad as John. John, he just looks for new things. He just wants new things. He's told me the reason he wants to drink my mead is because every time it's a little different. And he likes that because it's like an adventure. He keeps a list. Oh, and she's cooties. Cootie marketer.
She's cooties.
She got the cooties. Scootaloo has cooties. I said it.
Fly, I'll just fall right off of her. I can't fly, I'll just
It's true.
fall. fly, I'll just fall right off. I can't fly, I'll just fall right off of here.
Hey,
I'll just fall right off of here.
It's a real issue in
buddy.
Horse World. Rampant cooties.
Hey, buddy. You got
Right off of here. Off of
Hey,
off of here. Right off of here.
hey,
Off of here.
hey,
Right off of here.
hey. Hey, hey,
So yeah, I don't know who all's gonna show up. I feel like
hey, bud.
I hope they said something to Draft.
I have no
It's
clue.
kind of his friends.
That's not my thing. I'm
Yeah.
hosting the one thing. It's completely up to them.
who shows up.
Yeah, I'm outside of it.
Do you know what the numbers are?
I have no idea because again, I don't care.
We should probably know how many people are gonna be here. No.
Because as soon as I start asking those questions, then I suddenly take on a bunch of responsibilities for stuff, and I do enough like running of host stuff as it is. When it comes to me not having to, I don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
So no, I don't want to ask. They're going to do whatever, and if I know anything, then it becomes my responsibility to ensure that it's done correctly. Nope.
Hey,
Right off of here.
hey,
You know they're coming over for a bonfire. I don't know if they even expect food,
I think the expectation is probably
so I'm just going to bring the normal stuff.
yeah.
I normally have too much.
hey,
Normally.
Hey.
Yeah.
hey.
That's often a good thing.
It's just hey.
She's like, wait, go back to that shot. All right, no, who's out? Like she's like, oh, just go butt. This is a good buddy. You have rainbow, tiny rainbow. This is the kind of video this is. Oh no, she got booped. Reach through her own booper to boop. Facebook. She's an outfit. The truth comes out.
Look at that's good a boop.
She gonna quack.
Oh, it's like too far back for the phone. Oh, hello, Starfire. Looks like RD is fixated on Scoot's hair. Kinda. Yeah, I was having difficulty with this because on a lot of these shots, depending on the angle, I have them moved to different positions because depending on the angle, like the hair started becoming a thing where it was in the way.
She's just staring at her hair and she's like, she's got the same haircut as Fry from Futurama.
No smooching.
I know the PJ, the primal pea shooter.
That's very exciting for her.
This sounds like a YouTube poop. Yeah, I like having the audio on when I'm trying to do some of this so I get the timing right, but that also means that like the audio keeps playing with it. I don't hear it, and I just kind of tone it out, but I know that happens. Do you hear some guys using the Source SDK to make a better version of Source Filmmaker? But there already is a Source 2. Source 2 FM. You can already on Alex you can download it and do it right now. It's just there's a couple key features that are missing that are important to me, and you can't port models from the Source 1. You can, but it doesn't bring any flexes over, and then that kind of just rough. But you can go on there right now. You could do it like a couple years ago. I went on there and I was playing around with some of the lighting and stuff. The lighting is much better. And normally I would say that the RAM would be an issue, but because of the Vulkan mod that you can get for Source, I can't run out of RAM anymore. It's literally impossible. I crash for other reasons before I run out of RAM.
Hey, buddy. Buddy. Hey, buddy.
That was a pretty big fine because it was getting to the point where, like, I think throughout the majority of the Bring Out Your Dead video, you were crashing 5 times a stream minimum.
Yeah, now I think it's kind of visible. I'm at like 1,300 now, and I don't think I've ever gotten above 1,600 anymore. It's crazy. The library limit of how many items that can be loaded in a library. That is a limit I still hit. That's separate from RAM though. That's a 32-bit addressing issue. Thank you for the follow, Primal P Shooter. We do this a lot.
Fancy horse.
But doing this, oh god, was it then 11 years of streaming? I was streaming before Twitch was Twitch. It was Justin TV. I'm not even lying.
And then now look, all these wonderful people here who are still watching or have started watching.
I don't think many. I don't know of anybody here that was here since day one. Like when I first started streaming, that was I averaged 50 people a stream, but that was also like streaming was pretty early and it was kind of the peak horse, so it was a bit popular. And then it was only up and through like 2016 to 2019 that I dropped to more like the 4 to 5 for a while until I started doing a little bit more focus on it to improve stuff during COVID.
I know at least one person who's been watching you since the beginning.
Not the beginning.
Essentially.
No, because I started streaming in 2014.
Your sister.
No, she didn't watch my streams for like many years.
What?
We lived in the same apartment together.
Yeah,
No,
she didn't come by. Check it out.
sometimes, but like the first.
I was waiting to be like, you haven't been watching since the very beginning.
No, it's like the first.
There's one other person.
The first 2 years, she was.
Oh, she's watched. She's right there.
I didn't even know you streamed it first. Yeah, like the first 2 years until we lived in the same
hiding in your
apartment. I was in a whole different place.
Yeah.
I just kind of did things. I didn't really tell people what I do. I still don't really talk to family about the stuff I do.
I started watching when you were animating Remembrance.
There's
You were doing the go-karts.
Hey, buddy.
no, you can go and I think I started streaming during the middle of the Fallout one.
And no, I remember watching you do Leaving Your Stable too. I remember you doing that and then bouncing between that and Remembrance. I watched both. You'd have to go all the way back in your stream to see if I'm like in the chat.
No, I don't have chat that far back.
Yeah. There was a chat. What's the furthest back you have chat?
All of them. None of them. All of them are just screen recordings.
Right.
And I don't have chat on screen, so I don't have it recorded.
There's no way to know. I can say I was there
But
before
I mean,
you started.
technically, this is first stream. Like, no, I think I was considering this first stream. I streamed beforehand, but I didn't start a consistent every week stream until March 21st. So that's usually what I consider the anniversary. Before that, it was just more frequent. But like back when these are like, I think this is Windows Vista.
Because I remember Remembrance and I remember Leaving the Stable that you were working on when I was watching super early on. So yeah, I was
Yeah, like Ventrilo.
I was watching you do this.
Had more RAM running then. Oh my god, just looking at how many clips that is just makes me sad to think of big videos like that. But yeah, this is 2014, 6 o'clock. Still at 6 o'clock. I still even do the same time. Originally, that was because I got off work at 5 and it took me a half hour to get home. So by the time I got off, ran home, I think I had a coffee in the evening too. By the time I got home to do it, it was tight.
No, I got into the fandom 2013, and one of the very first pony things I've ever saw from the fandom was your thing, and it led me to your streams, and that was the Scootaloo falling animation. What is going on there?
It's browsing stuff. Also, this is back when I had my 1680 by 1050. Like, nobody has that resolution anymore. I used to like it because it was it was close to 1080, but it still like it had less pixels to increase performance. Yeah, I have all my streams.
Windows 7.
Almost all the recordings of everything. This is how I figured out how many streams we've done, because I kind of went back here and tried to do the math and figured out. But I have like everything. It goes all the way. All the way.
Now the only person
What did we do in 2017 on March 4th or November 14th? That was back. Yeah, that was old apartment. That was when I actually finally got a camera, but it was like this like crappy Logitech. And it did his job, but it was pretty poor on the lighting. No, that was the...
Yeah, I remember that one. I was involved in the conversation that led to that video. And the one other person who stuck around for the longest time, long enough that I remember them from the beginning, was Malik. And I think he still watches Jay's streams.
Or you look relatively unchanged in that recording. I've lost more hair, but other than that,
Can't see it unless you turn.
When that was recorded, I was what, like 29?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like 29. Once you get in your late 20s, that's when like your visible age slows down. So yeah, I'm probably not going to change still for another many years, especially since I'm a basement baby that doesn't go and touch the sun.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of like older generations, like silent generation, your grandparents, like boomers, they went outside and the sun damaged their skin, and that's why they turned into prunes. A lot of people these days who never let the sun touch them for more than like 10 minutes out of the year, they're gonna have baby faces until their 60s. That's just how
Science.
it goes. Like they're still gonna go gray, but you know, like I have, and their hair is still gonna fall out.
Also, like every time I shower, I use these lotion afterwards because my skin just gets really chapped in the winter. So that helps too. I'm noticing more of age in the back of my hands, because there's the whole phrase of like the back of my hand. I'm starting to see the skin get a slightly more aging look, but that's about it. Like the front of my hand's fine.
I'm beautiful.
But the back of my hand, I can start to see it a little bit.
I mean, I got crow's feet, but past that,
I'll be honest, for some reason your hair looks thinner in the recording. Oh no, well, it's probably because of the headset, but like I'm losing it. I can definitely tell up here that because my father went bald more out the front, but it's not going to help it with anything. It's going to lose it on the sides a little bit too. I can tell it's thinner all the way through across the top. I just don't care. My brother got lucky and he didn't get the gene from my father regarding hair loss, so I think he's losing a teeny bit in the back, but he's 4 years older than me, and he's still got vast majority of his hair. But he got my dad's allergies, and I have like no allergies in the seasons. So if I'd actually pick, I'd rather lose my hair than like get shut down for 2 weeks because I can't like breathe.
how much are you gonna lose before you just shave it?
I have broke this head open so many times that I'm afraid what it looks like.
No, me too. But if I lose this and it's going this bit up here,
there's a certain amount where like I don't want to do the bit where it's like clean, like the Colin Mockery. I don't want to do the Colin Mockery look.
Yeah, where it's like the horseshoe.
Yeah, well, no, he's got it like shaved all the way across with just hair on the side.
Yeah, but that's what happens when you lose it all. On the top.
I'm just gonna get epoxy and a baseball cap.
Just get the toupee, stick it on there.
No,
Permanent super glue.
no, that's no.
Just have somebody like sew it into your head.
And there's once a hair follicle dies, I think once a hair falls out, the follicle dies within 2 to 3 years, and at that point you can't recover it. So it's not like you can just be like, there'll be a topical cream that will bring hair back. No, they're just dead. Like there's nothing you can do to like revive it.
The hair doesn't exist anymore.
You can do hair transplants, but hair transplants take hair from areas that you have more hair, and they basically pull the whole follicle out and move it somewhere else, and then it takes about a year for it to fully grow in, and then you'll actually grow hair there. But you're taking it from somewhere else, and this area is going to thin at some point too. So
no, I got long, luscious locks on my back. They can take from that.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
You're just like, I don't need to know that.
Hey, buddy.
You can't. You don't have long, luscious locks on your back that they can transplant to the top of your head.
No. When they're looking, they're like, why are these ones significantly more curly? And they're like, the doctor gave me a weird look when I asked for this one.
You know, you do what you gotta. They could probably take a bunch of my arm hair. I have plenty of it.
The actually fun that one that's look at is I've maintained my license from every time I've had to renew my license, and all the way back to my permit. So like my pre-license license that I got, and every time I go to take the picture, I think I'm gonna do something different. I want to look a little different. Every picture is exactly the same. It is like exactly this, because I have a little bit of a head tilt to the right, and I did the same little like grin on one side. It literally looks like you just took the picture and did de-aging on one of them. It is kind of creepy, and I have to get my license renewed in the next couple months here because it's expiring again, and I can guarantee I'm going to try to do something different. It's going to look the fucking exact same.
Well, last time I went to go get my license taken, I wanted every time I looked sad almost in the pictures. So this last time I got a big grin on my face, like, and they told me to back it off to relax my face.
I know
they don't want you.
Well, they don't mind if you have
a relaxed face.
They don't mind if you have a grin or like a little bit. It's
you can't look too happy.
No, if you have a passport, they require that you cannot smile or anything. You have to be as straight faced as possible, because that's going to be more than likely what they would see if you're walking around or you go walk up to somebody. So they want to make sure that they match it exactly with as much neutral as possible.
I really need to get my passport renewed this year. It reminds me. I'm going to forget again, but because it takes like 3 months if you get a passport cheap, relatively cheap. It's like a 3-month process. You can get it next day if you can pay a small fortune.
Yeah, I had a coworker that did that, but work paid for it, so
yeah,
she didn't care.
No, the cheapest way, if you ever need a passport and you have time, post office.
I checked. I think my passport's good for another 2 or 3 years.
Mine expires next year.
Yeah. No, my license expires in 3 months. So that's why I need to go do that. But I was like, I'm going to go do that. And then the Real ID thing hit. I'm not going to the post or to the DMV to get my license renewed when Real ID hit.
Yeah.
They were around the block busy. I'm like, God damn it. So I'm waiting at least a bit longer for that to clear.
Well, I just figured with my passport, I don't need the Real ID.
It doesn't, I'm not talking about getting
just your
Real
standard
ID.
driver's
It doesn't matter whether you're doing it or not. It was just backed up.
Yeah.
So, when is that Windows 7 before? Yeah, it probably was. I was on a Vista very long. I like 7.
I miss 7. 7 was
I kind of miss 10, but 11 has some quirks, but it was not as bad as 7 to 8.
Well, 8 was for tablets.
8 was trash.
8 was
and Vista
trash.
was trash.
Yes.
10 to 11 has not been the same type of negative. There are things
7 with widgets on it.
There's things I don't like about it, but auto HDR is really nice. It's improved. I really like the new features. Oh, it probably doesn't do it for this one, but like when you're going to go on top of the screen, that you can do. I don't have it here, but it's like this, where you can do 2/3, like splitting it into 3s. Some of this has been much nicer on the stream one, because I have the chat and the actions menu on the bottom, or activity view on the bottom, and then the stream on the top. It actually lets me have both on the bottom and then grab this one, go to the top, and it will like, oh, do you want this one all the way across the top and these other 2 on the bottom? It's smarter. It's way smarter. I don't like that. I think, yeah, like if you get anywhere near this, yeah, like at that point, now you're stuck where this is the distance you have to get to for like wanting to go full. I don't like that. That's annoying. I love the tabs. Tabs in the folder are the best feature. That's by far my favorite feature on Windows 11. And cheers, sorry. Also, I believe you can just middle click. Yeah, middle click to open a new tab as well. That's also super nice. It works just like a browser. I don't like the sidebar here as much. It's very close to, but not quite like it used to be. Thankfully, they got rid of that stupid 3D objects, whatever. Like, why was it forced to have everybody have 3D objects? Anytime I installed Windows 10, the first thing I did was I would go to the registry and remove it. Because it's just why? I did that this one too. You can. So yeah, if you ever need to and there's things in the sidebar you don't like, you can go into your registry and just forcibly remove it. It's just Google it. Other people
have to do that.
Other people have been frustrated just like you, and they put the answers out there.
I love it.
I still am using Windows 10. I can't be bothered.
You're gonna love it. I promise.
They are dropping support for it awfully fast.
For what?
Windows 10.
Fast.
Yeah, after 11 comes out.
11's been out for like 6 years.
No. I don't think. Maybe.
Uh, 2021. So it's been out for
4 years.
So it's going to be on its 4th year.
Yeah.
That's 4 years is a long time.
It's not. Windows XP was used for how many years? Windows 7, how many years? And then they continued the support well after the new systems came out. Heck, support for Windows 7 ran all the way up to Windows 10.
So Windows 7 released in 2009.
Yeah. When did they stop support for it? That's the question.
It was released to manufacturing in 2009.
The wiki would probably say.
So that's Microsoft Edge. Okay, I was like, so they fully killed it in 2020.
Yeah. So that's how many years of full support? I mean,
That's end of life. So it's 2015. So this would be 10 years. And the other one had 11. So this about the same.
time.
8, the ones that sucked died quicker.
Yeah.
8 did not last as long.
No,
Vista
8
didn't
was
last as
awful.
long. But the ones that were good, it's not that different. You're just looking at it through jaded glasses.
Old man eyes.
Old man yells at operating system.
There was nothing wrong with 7.
You're gonna love it.
And everything since 7 has just been stuff they could have tacked on to 7.
No, they can't, because then it's just, then you have to support like this huge amount of stuff going all the way back, and you're just going to get some convoluted mess of an operating system. It's better to at some point just start fresh, and thankfully they don't really charge you for Windows anymore. Like you can just download Windows for free. Like it's not even like trying to hack it. You can just download Windows, and you might have to deal with some quirkiness, but like you can 100% use Windows without paying for it.
I want to see how good the Valve operating system is.
I do want to do that. Yes. My concern is like Adobe products probably going to be optimized to work on it.
GIMP.
Like some of that, but that's where you just dual boot.
Yeah.
I'll just move because my whole Steam library is on a separate drive. So you put on a Steam operating system on a separate drive, and then you just link the library on both Windows and Steam, and it's the same. It's exactly the same. They can't hardwire Edge into OS on 7, probably. It's just, I can understand that there's sometimes, as hardware and certain features improve, that you need to start fresh to ensure that certain security vulnerabilities that are like based on certain things, there's going to be a time where you have to do it. And when they charged you brand new for each system, like, yes, that kind of sucks because then you have to buy a whole new operating system. But now that you can just upgrade for free, it's not really like they're charging you again. There are certain privacy things that are a problem with 11 that I don't like. And if you kind of go in the settings, you can get rid of them.
When we were forced to upgrade to Windows 11 at work, I immediately, after upgrading, downloaded a Windows 7 shell for my work
You're
computer.
just doing old man things.
Yeah. I liked the Windows 7 layout.
Yeah, and before that, you liked XP.
Yeah, because it was essentially the same as far as the layout was concerned.
Oh, no, XP and 7. 7, like when they did kind of like the or not 7 had the standard one, but like when 10 had the like icons in the side, the like Metro thing from 8,
that.
and it sucked. But then when I got used to it, I kind of liked it.
I started ignoring it. I didn't like it.
I was able to set up all my programs there. It was nice and easy. Now it's just big, massive apps.
Yeah, and the search function hasn't worked properly since 7.
The search function has never worked on Windows.
It worked on 7.
No, it's all
You typed in a file name, and it didn't matter where it was on your computer. It would show up.
No, it's all bad. They just hard coded IE instead. Yeah, it's because then they can say, well, we need it because the operating system requires it, and I can understand that. Like in Explorer windows that pop up for like folder viewing, this is it could be running some version of an HTML thing, because I mean, if you look at it, it looks like a browser in a lot of ways, so it probably has some cross coding in it, but still,
yeah.
I do not use Edge. The first thing I do, and I think they said there's a funny joke of what is the number one use for Edge?
Downloading Chrome.
Yeah. It's the first thing you do is you open Edge and go to Chrome. But even Edge now isn't nearly as bad because it's Chromium, so it just runs on the same crap now.
Well, I don't use Chrome.
But yeah, I don't either.
I use Firefox.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
Just my old roommate used to use Opera, and I know Opera is trying to be the gaming browser now.
Is it now? My grandparents used Netscape up to their dying day. They refuse to learn new things. It's crazy.
Says you.
Look at that horse. When are they gonna make him hug?
When are they?
Yeah.
When are they gonna make them?
When are you gonna make him hug? Are you gonna force these horses to hug?
No.
Disappointing.
Well, no. Okay, Michael. One. See.
Oh, hugs.
They're hugging Michael.
They're hugging. Oh, no. She's fine. She flies away.
No smooching.
Nobody said nothing about smooching.
Michael.
She's like, oh,
She sees a cookie.
Oh no.
There's a cookie.
She's like,
It's right there.
He's the white cookie. Delicious. It's touching her butt again.
Well, there's you going for it.
No, Derby got the big cookie. Those little cookies.
Is it doing the washed out thing again? Hold on. Thought I fixed that. I just realized that the screen's looking a little bit not colored again. Just want to double check.
So I did do something weird, Chad. I made corn chowder, but just corn.
There we go. That's better.
Has anybody here ever made corn chowder before? Is it normal to do just corn? I put onions in it. It was corn and onions, and then the rest was just what it took to make it chowder. It was actually pretty good.
She doesn't like corn.
I know, but it was still pretty good. A chowder is basically a soup in which you add dairy and flour to kind of thicken it up. If you've ever made gravy, think of like the base for it being a thin gravy that's often like mostly like a chicken broth or a beef broth, but it's also got milk and flour in it. It's thick as a result.
You're gonna love it.
You can make a clam chowder, and I often make a potato chowder, which is pretty good. Chowder is basically a soup, a hearty soup, made hearty through the cooking of flour inside of it. Though with the corn chowder that I made, I wanted to make it as much corn as possible. So instead of flour, I used cornmeal and cornstarch. And it actually worked. It worked really well.
Like you,
I promise.
nothing like you.
Love it. I promise.
Soup with dairy? Is mac and
Nothing like-
cheese a chowder? I don't know. Is not. I will definitively say mac and cheese is not a chowder.
Promise.
Nothing like you.
Michael, no more chowder. Do the impression. Oh. You're like, yeah, I see it. I'm reading it ahead of time so I don't read it wrong. Derpy is now the prosecutor in the Phoenix Wright style trial. She must convince convict Scootaloo for cookie theft. Scootaloo is, however, being defended by Phoenix Wright. I see.
I see. It's a lot
I
of
see.
fun.
Hey, buddy.
He's like, Scootaloo, you've been a naughty horse. You stole them cookies. You're going to a little horse prison. You go,
Putting Horsey in prison?
No, Phoenix Wright comes out here and says, no, Derpy.
You didn't do the thing.
Like, you slap. That's what he does and points.
Yeah, he points.
He points.
You can't
like
see
this.
the point. There we go.
He points.
Apparently, Phoenix Wright's special thing is slapping the knee.
Slapping his knee and pointing. And he says, Derpy.
No. What does he say?
Boop.
No.
Objection. That's why he's got his finger out. Poof. He poops Derpy on the nose. And she's like, I'll keep pooping you as long as you let this little horse go. And Derpy says, sure thing, guy who pooped me on the nose with your objections. The Scootal horse is free to go
I'll just fall right
and
off
steal
of
more
her.
cookies. And that's what she does. She steals all the cookies, and the entire city's left without cookies. It's sad for the other horses, but Scootaloo's pretty happy. I saw him in a Mystery Skulls music video once. That's the majority of my knowledge of Phoenix Wright. That, and somebody did a huge, and I'm not talking like moderately huge, kind of big, absolutely enormous fan animation that is several hours long, and its completion like 10 hours long. That's just My Little Pony Phoenix Wright crossover. It ran
Fly, I'll just fall right
forever. It might still be going. I don't know.
Oh, but yeah, it wasn't like fully animated, but it was like the game type stuff, like similar to the games stuff. Yeah.
But all the dialogue and stuff. was
Yeah, no,
all
they did a lot
spoken.
It was a lot of time put into it, but like fully animated for 10 hours would be a whole different. Like
It's
they're
still
not
a
going to do
lot.
something like this.
It's still a lot of animation, a lot of voice lines, a lot of writing. I have no idea
Why,
how
I'm just
the
falling
whole
right
thing
off of
is
it.
just
Hey,
ridiculously long.
Hey, bud.
off of
Last time I even checked it. Take that, Michael says, as he boops the prosecutor instead of presenting the evidence that would absolve his client of any all guilt. You don't need to absolve the client. He uses his objection to boop the
No,
ponies.
you've already said it's not objection, it's boop.
It's boop. And they
just
like
so-
they give him what he wants.
He's such a one trick Michael.
No,
that, like even with this
one-trick Michael.
super iconic, well-known
Yeah.
person and through anime, and you're like, what is he best known for? Boop.
Yeah, he is. That's why he's got his finger out. Clearly, he's trying to boop the prosecutor. He's a booper.
Because
he's a serial booper.
She's a prosecutie.
I like that.
His name is
good.
Steven.
Stephen, the cute prosecutor.
Yeah.
Prosecutie.
Prosecutie.
I like prosecutie. You're a prosecutie. Yes, you are.
Oh,
That's a good derpy.
right off of
Good
her.
prosecutie.
cheers, son.
Anytime I see the word pony, now I think of Michael. I'm glad I could do that for you. I'm glad I could solidify that branding. It's like Coke, but horse. Coked up horse.
Right off of her.
Hey, buddy.
That's why they're all going to prison. Especially that tiny orange one. It's like judge, the prosecution rests. And it's like, well, the defense booped the entire jury and they're all giggling now, so I think this case is closed. The orange horse is free to go. She just currently has the stolen cookies on her person, eating them. She wants some of those cookies. That is a face. I'm curious. The Phoenix Wright My Little Pony. How long is it? I wonder if anybody's done the math. So they've been doing it since 2011, and I see one all the way up through, 2023. Like, I'm gonna have to go to the channel. Make sure that my volume's also don't.
I guess I'm gonna have to go and look at these horses.
Yeah.
For science.
I gotta learn. The guy only has, well, I mean, it's a fair amount. That one's 5 minutes. That was the very first video. The second one was 2.5, then an hour 10, hour 30. 2, just round that up to 4, 5.5, 6, 7. I would say the whole thing's about maybe 8 or 9 hours. But not quite 10. But still, that's ridiculous. Wait, that's not even the whole thing, is it? That's just the first case. It's hold on. We need a science button redeem. Yeah, then we can just do science.
Yeah, actually, that would be a pretty decent one to do sometime.
But you'd have to give the science facts. I already got the ghost facts.
No, not like a science fact redeem. Just have her come up and hit a science button, and then like something explodes or something.
Ooh, I like explosions.
Explosions are kind of annoying to do on like stream because normally I can't do them in SFM because of the transparency. I have to do them in post.
Okay, they do have the complete series here.
Okay, I will play with that a little bit at the transition, but I think that
yeah, they started it,
Right off.
this one 3 years ago, and they just finished it 10 months ago.
Right off of it. Right off of it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'll have to make the teeth a little bit more prominent too. I'm not full.
Yeah, this one's easily around 20 plus hours. That one, that's like a different series from the first one. That was like around 10 hours. There's a lot. Watching it would be the equivalent of like binging a, yeah, if it was animated. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I don't think I could sit down through all of that.
Hey, you gotta give somebody credit for having that kind of passion
Oh yeah,
to
for
maintain
sure.
something like that.
I mean, hats off to them. I mainly know about it because they got on the top 10 a few times. Because it might not be the most like engaging animation, but you gotta, when the animation is 2.5 hours long, you have to kind of tip your hat to that, even if it is all Phoenix Wright style. because of all the dialogue and writing and stuff they have to do. It's crazy.
So yeah, if you're trying to build a universe and stuff.
Derpy butt. See, and then you can just post a derpy butt, and it's just as good. Denise, why is it when you think of Pony, you think of me and not him? You know, the guy who's just sitting there tirelessly animating ponies.
What were you doing all last night?
I worked out. I went out to eat. And then I worked on pony models.
There you go.
And then I played Final Fantasy. I did more than just Pony. Though I wish I had just been doing Pony. I need to fix Rainbow Dash's tail still. I wanted to get one done a day, but I left Rainbow Dash's tail semi not done. And it's,
She's like, what are you doing with my tail?
the texture's wrong.
Clean me.
She's hungry. She wants oats. They needed more episodes where the ponies were eating out of feed bags. They only had one episode where they were eating out of feed bags, and it was a wonderful moment. But I just like the idea of like a drive-through in Horse World where they just hook a feed bag up to them and they go on their way. That would make me so happy.
It's right on their mouth.
They just stick it on. They're like, thank you.
There's no
Nom.
feedback model.
Yeah, well, we need one.
Michael, you're like obsessed. I don't know why there's ... Like you had to think about the word for it.
Also, you make it sound
I wrote
like a bad thing to have love of anything. Like, I guarantee you, anybody who's ever done anything worthwhile in this world, it's because they had a passion for something. And maybe
I bet you some people did it completely by accident.
Yeah, the guy who made Gak, maybe that was an accident. I don't know. Maybe he just really liked squishy things, like was really into squishy crap. Like to a disturbing degree.
Michael.
Huh? Oh, tiny mouth. Just tiny mouth. She's like, oh, get that little tiny horse. Bite it. Trying to find the nice word. It's called passion. Ninesky. Not obsessed. Passionate. That's the nice word. I spent most of my life prior to Horse not really being into anything. If you had gone into my bedroom or my house prior to Horse, it would be a chair, a desk, a computer, and a bed. No decorations, no collections, no nothing. Boring, blank slate. And that's not fun. And sure, you can have things gussied up with other random stuff, but if you don't really care about any of it, then why? And my king bed, yeah, my king size bed. It's a nice bed. I've only ever used half of it, really. But it is nice.
It's all horse.
Yeah, it's been horsed. Partly my fault, partly not. Giz applied quite the cover to it.
Buddy. Hey, buddy.
Pop horse.
Hey, buddy.
So much horse. I have some DBZ figurines because I do really like the Dragon Ball Z. I still go back and watch Dragon Ball Z clips fairly often. And I do have some figurines, but they're all inside of a box. I don't have anywhere to put them.
I used to, like, when going to like half price books, I would see Dragon Ball Z quite often on the for sale. I haven't seen it for a while. They had these like orange box ones that they would sell, and they had like I think 8 total. And every now and then I find them for okay prices, and I thought about starting, but again, my rule is if I can't find half at a time, I'm not going to buy a season of anything. But I've thought about just making that an exception.
Yeah.
But
They're talking about getting the main series up and going again.
I wonder.
I'm looking forward to that.
Like, wait, like a reboot?
No, like they just did Dragon Ball Denma, which was part of the main series. It was kind of a prequel that took place between Z and Super. It was good. They go to the demon world, and you kind of get some back information where the Kais come from and stuff. It was fun, and they kind of reintroduced Super Saiyan 4.
So they have a complete box set. Oh, the paperback. Oh, so it's actually all volumes. That's actually pretty nifty. That's like 140. But seasons 1 through 9 of Dragon Ball Z on Blu-ray, it's 120, which...
And Dragon Ball, which you kind of need if you're going to have Dragon Ball Z.
No, that's just Z.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not a bad... They have actually a really a nicer, fancier Blu-ray collection for 150. Oh, and then the box set of the original is... Oh, that's paperback again.
You might as well just get Kai at this point. Dragon Ball Z Kai.
There's something about the original.
Yeah, it's super long, and they just stare at each other a lot of the time. Kai fixed it.
No, the previous one was good.
It did result in the joke in Dragon Ball Z Abridged where the planet takes way too long to blow up.
Yeah, that's a bit of a joke.
That was the joke.
I want to see if they had Dragon Ball complete in Blu-ray. I think it was in I found a DVD. When it comes to like cartoons, you really don't need Blu-ray though. A Dragon Ball Super is 150 for the whole series on Blu-ray.
It takes place.
That's not too bad. I mean, it's a lot of episodes. I've never seen all of Super.
Well, you kind of need Dangma now because that takes place between Super and Z. Super's good. Super is good. We try to forget GT exists, and that's all you have.
Because I bought them as they were released. I didn't realize it was bad until after it was done.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing.
GT got forgotten.
I don't think they did a Blu-ray release of the original Dragon Ball, but like I was mentioning,
it surprises me
when it comes to some of those cartoons because cartoon, the biggest difference, not just in resolution, is bit rate, and cartoons are cartoon. So even at a low bit rate, they look pretty decent because there's not as much data to be stored when it's compressed and all that. So really, if you get a DVD of a cartoon like Dragon Ball, it'll look fine. The edges won't be as sharp, but that's it. And it looks fine. And I kind of like that it looks a little retro.
Dragon Ball Denma. I think it's Denma is how you say it. It's pretty good. It's very much lore heavy in that it kind of explains a lot of the things that never got explained in the past. Where like initially in Dragon Ball, Piccolo was a demon. Like it was Demon King Piccolo. And then in Z, you find out he's actually an alien from another world. And he's like a slug person, which isn't as cool as a demon. Denma kind of turns that back on its head, where they say, yes, they're from a planet in outer space, but they're a species that escaped from the demon world, so they are demons.
Peak of War, they did release Friendship is Magic on DVD. Did I buy them or did I pass on that?
I think you passed because they're definitely not up there. I would know if they were up there.
I don't
them all the time
because I believe that they have most on DVD. The problem is
they all exist.
You can't buy all of them. I was at a thrift store before and I found like the first 6 or 7 seasons, but after that, I think that they didn't really release the last few. And I don't like to be able to buy something if I can't get a full thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they do a complete collection at some point.
Yeah,
because I really like it's one thing if you get like all the different seasons individually, but the big fancier nice box sets tend to be a little cheaper. The problem is it's also harder to find, like for discounted prices, because that's what I tend to do. Like I have all of Friends, but I got it for $3 a season, where if I bought the box set, it would have cost me, I think, $70 at the cheapest, which if you do the math is $40 more than if I bought all this individually. So
it's just My Little Pony Friendship is Magic in retrospect had a really weird release on episodes, because there's the main series, then there's the shorts, then there's like the Rainbow Road Trip special, and then there's the memory episodes. And it's like, how do you organize that into a box set? Or do you just try to like not include the shorts, not include the memory episodes? I know for a fact that memory episodes have never been released on DVD.
They tend to, from doing most box sets, they tend to do it where they'll have like however many discs for the whole season, and then on the last disc of whatever that season is, they'll throw some extras on there.
The specials.
And it's not always specific to that season.
Yeah.
It could just be they'll do some animatics, they'll do some random stuff. Maybe they'll have an extra disc at the end for some bonus stuff that didn't fit, which I could see them doing like Rainbow Road Trip and the memory episodes. But otherwise, any of the other extra stuff, they tend to put in there somewhere. And that's the nice thing with the complete collections is you get some of that. But at the same time, I don't tend to rip all the specials. If there's bloopers on some series, those are funny. I'll put those.
You still don't have the shorts.
Where are they?
The internet.
If you want it, you get it. Why is it my responsibility?
Bring me horse.
I have all of it. All the good ones.
Wow. The shorts where we get the Twilight's Afraid of Ladybugs. Which makes no sense. And she got tiny mouth. She's so happy. That's right, Cloudy Pegasus. Bring us horse. I think about just locking him in this room and forcing him to just make horse. But then he would get all sad. Soon. Speaking of soon, I'll be back soon because I'm going to use the restroom.
Michael, she's gonna watch you pee. She's gonna go with him. It's not a Cloudy Pegasus. Interesting, they didn't exist when I looked a couple years ago. I see seasons 5, 1, 6, 2, 7, 4, 3. Why is that? What order is that? Not seeing 8 or 9. Yeah, that's why I remember when I saw them at the store, and it's when I realized that they don't think they released them at 8 or 9. And then if I can't have the full, I'm not going to buy some. Because I do a lot of thrifting. I go to Half Price Books. I go to thrift stores, and it's not too off or not. Or it's pretty often that I'll see like a series that looks interesting and I'll find one season of it, but then I'll look up and it says there's 6 seasons. But if I buy that one season, that means that if I have difficulty finding any of the others, I'm eventually going to want to complete it, and then I'm going to be buying them at a much higher price. But if I can find a majority at a heavily discounted price, then that last couple, if I have difficulties, isn't as much of a pill to swallow compared to buying 80% of it at full price. So that's where that kind of my role in that. I got really lucky with Friends not long ago. They had all 10 seasons of Friends at the thrift store for $3 a season. And, but I think it was like season 7 was missing a disc. I opened up each one to verify. So I left season 7, but Friends pops up a lot. So I knew I could find it eventually. And it was like about a week and a half later, I found it for $3 at somewhere else. So, most of the season stuff I have is because of that. I got Golden Girls. I bought every season from Goodwill once, and I think those were $4 a season. So that one cost me no, those were $3. Yeah, that was back when it was still $3. So yeah, so that one cost me, I think, like $28 or something, $27 for the full series, which that's acceptable to me for buying every disc of the full release. I got Quantum Leap, the original.
I'll just fall right off
Just got thrift shop. Yeah, I love popping tags.
of him.
Hey, buddy.
No, I know for a fact they've never released the memory episodes because the only ones you can still find have the like little watermark from the channel they aired on.
No, but I got Guardians of the Galaxy season or episode movie 3 the other day, but that one I paid a bit more for because that's hard to find, but it still is $8 cheaper than buying a new. And I found, I guess Adam knows what it is. It's called The Silent Voice. It's an anime movie that I think was in theaters and is highly rated. It's like 8.5 or 9 out of 10 on ratings. So I picked that one up, and I got on Blu-ray too. That one was $3. $3 is the average price for things.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. You're gonna love it. Hey, buddy.
They have seasons 1 through 6 on Amazon.
Yeah, they showed that earlier. I think Pika War said they could find a collection of 1 through 6, but not any of the others. I think you could find 7. 7
exists by itself.
Yeah, but 8 and 9 you can't find. That's why I utilize my one rule of if I'm not allowed to buy physical copy, I will acquire it through other means.
Let's see, I want to specifically look for season 8. They do have a season 8. I did find it on eBay.
That's where it gets like, eBay is a little bit more iffy when it comes to buying those because I don't want to get something that's in rough condition. I want something in decent condition. And some of those are a seller that has a few copies of something and you don't know if what you see is what you're going to get.
It's so weird. It clearly shows season 8 did come out on DVD, but eBay is the only place I'm seeing it.
Action 7 News. Today, a man was rescued from his Minnesota home where he was being held against his will, chained to a computer in the basement by a roommate. Officials have said he is held in his own filth, forced to produce hundreds of hours of animations of cute ponies kissing. I love how like the newscaster would put cute.
Oh yeah, they're cute.
If they put it in quotations because that was what the crazy man was screaming as he was yanked from the house.
He screamed, "Cute ponies kissing."
Literally have no idea where I'm supposed to legitimately watch Friendship is Forever, and I couldn't even find it in YouTube for a long time until the other day. Friendship is Forever.
That's the memory episodes. Yeah, that never it aired. I think on a few channels in Canada one time, and every existing thing of it out there came from somebody just being in the right place at the right time and recording it. They exist. I have seen them. You can find them, but yeah. But seasons 8 and 9, seasons 1 through 7 can be found on Amazon, but 8 and 9 you have to go to eBay. It's the only place they exist, which is crazy. Like, why does Hasbro make this series so hard to freaking find?
Because they want to just erase it from existence.
Nutty. It's not quite lost media, but close to. Like, I think they asked Big Jim about it the one time, and I think I mentioned it before. Basically, they just had the studio for 6 more months after the show was done, and they just went to them and was like, just make content, make anything, something we can put out. And it turned into the Friendship is Forever, like, memory series, which is 6 episodes, like short episodes. My Little Pony found footage. That was all the leaks that came out for Gen 5, for the Malaysian studio. It was like, you know what? We're gonna release all this stuff we made. We don't care if we piss off Hasbro. They've already fired us. And there was quite a bit of content. The first thing that came out after the show ended was a nearly completed episode. Like, it was all but done. I think they just had to like add a few sound effects and it would have been done. Those people walked into work and just were told they didn't have jobs in the middle of the workday. Crazy. Nolan, are we supposed to lose that media? Is that what you're implying? It's like, speaking of lost media, have you lost it yet? No, Nolan, we haven't watched either of the movies you sent us yet, but I do believe at least one of them is on the Plex.
They're all on there. I'm up to date.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm up to date.
Yeah.
I might have something over there still, but I think I'm up to date. I have one thing, but I have, because you gave me the new drive to put in, I still have to overwrite the firmware.
Okay.
DVDs can rip around anything. Blu-ray, you need a certain version or older, and for UHD, you do need to rip. You need to get 1.05, but a modified version of it.
I'll take that drive to work with me tomorrow. I'll have to remember.
So yeah, I have to do that, but I have to kind of remember how to do it because it's not difficult, but if you mess it up, it's firmware. So you just want to make sure it's
the
done
drive,
right.
yeah.
And it's like third-party software that some guy wrote, so it's it's just better to be careful. It worked when I did it last time though. So.
Oh, the eBay is selling seasons 8 and season 9 together as a box set for $57 just for those 2 seasons because they know they're hard to find. Oh, Hasbro, don't you like money? Yeah, they're legitimate copies. They're just, they stopped selling them for whatever reason, or they ran out. Amazon ran out of them because they probably didn't have very many to begin with. And it's just scalpers now who are selling them essentially. Hasbro, from what best I can tell, this is a little bit of speculation, Hasbro's board members like money and they're fine selling parts of the company to get it. Like, they don't care if the company makes money. It's about personal gains now. And
Isn't that what any CEO is about? No.
The previous CEO was about building the company.
Yeah, because somebody cared.
Pride in the company.
Most CEOs nowadays, a CEO's purpose and goal is to take as much money out of the company as possible because they're allowed to, and then leave it as a husk.
Yeah.
If the company is growing and becoming something great, then that's an advantage too. But if they're at a company at this stage, why would they care? They're just going to do everything possible to maximize shareholder revenue because in the end, their wealth is tied to the cost of. Because a lot of what they have is the ownership of the stock.
Yeah.
So if the stock is high, that means they have more money. So they want to get as high as possible because that means they have more money.
Well, I mean, they're not even the stock up. They're just selling off pieces of the company, dropping the stock, but putting.
But selling off pieces of the company helps their stock.
Yeah.
When they're liquidating, stockholders like that for some reason.
Yeah, yeah. The reason My Little Pony was allowed to be as good as it was is because there was somebody at the helm who cared, but that's just not the case anymore. And it's sad. Because the guy who basically ran Hasbro through the 1980s to the 2001 passed away, and yeah, he's the one who made Hasbro cool. He's the one who gave us Power Rangers.
Buddy.
He's the one who gave us all those Transformers movies. And we forgive him for the ones involving Shia LaBeouf. But yeah. I think it's safe to say the last project that was already underway when he passed away was Transformers 1, and then after Transformers 1, they said they're not going to be doing anything else. Not going to be funding any more movies. They don't care anymore. And they've tanked the company so hard. They couldn't afford it anyway.
Hey, buddy.
I liked some of them. I liked Transformers 1, and I liked Bumblebee. The rest, they're fine. But the fact was, they were trying. I mean, we had Allspark Studio. They had started their own production studios. They had Allspark. They had E1 Entertainment, which they used to make the D&D movie. They had Boulder, which they had started to do with the My Little Pony stuff. Under the previous CEO, they had 3 studios, 2 of them animation, 1 of them live action, that worked with the other E1 to do a lot of the animation bits in the live action films.
One of these times, I just have to let you go on your rant so that the next time you have it, I can just mute you and hit play and just like do the previous one.
This one's a little different. A little different. Some nuance. You're just missing the nuance. But yeah, there's no, they don't own any studios now. I think that's sad. Call it a rant. I call it information. Rant.
Oh, that would be a fun redeem.
Is that right?
Who wants a rant redeem?
You can't just call on rants.
No,
They
not
need
the
to
call
have
rant.
them.
It's when you're having them that then they can be like the no smooching, but it'd be like the rant.
The no ranting. How dare you? He rants all the time. He's
Ranting with Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta have it so that people can redeem it, but it just like slowly pops up, and then people can do a redeem to stop it.
Yeah.
So it just goes blah 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 blah, and it just keeps doing that until he stops.
Yes. No, Godzilla Man, Lionsgate bought it, if I remember correctly. Lionsgate owns E1 now.
Love it. Love it.
Blah 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 Hasbro blah blah sucks blah blah. There you go.
It's equivalent to like something dark side. Something horse. Something Hasbro's horse darkness.
We kind of did that with the Derpy one. Yeah, crashed into Hasbro with a big old ship.
Love it. Love it.
Rants, ponies. Their rules were backwards in G5, Nolan. It was bullshit. They had one job and they fucked it up. They never even look at a horse hoof. I mean, it's already essentially a heart. All they had to do was turn it around, but no.
Love it. I promise. Love it.
I mean, it was practically handed to them. They just couldn't see it through.
I promise.
Yeah, you were creating an amazing video and you couldn't see it through.
No, I learned very quickly it was not amazing. It was immensely cringe.
Yeah, but that's some people like it. Give Michael a little tablet he can pop into his mouth to make him literally foam in the mouth. Just like toss it in there while he's going. He probably wouldn't even notice.
I wouldn't. It is endlessly mouth foaming frustrating. It's like, hey, these guys had all the ingredients to make gold, and they flushed half of it down the toilet and sold the other half for drugs.
But see, that's where you came from.
Yeah. That is how I was born, was in a sewer made up of the flushed ingredients.
When you talk about like Kentucky, that just sounds like everything there. It just sounds like animals are getting hit every 5 seconds in the road. Cats are on fire. Drug dealers that are just selling to other drug dealers because everybody's a drug dealer.
Yeah, they make them in their barn.
Yeah, everybody just sits and watches TV all day, yet also deals drugs.
Yeah.
And then there's Whippy Dips.
Yeah, which is where you go to get drugs. And ice cream.
Sugar's a drug.
I mean, you can get both.
Whippy Dips is an ice cream shop where
really
Michael used to be.
Nothing around here quite compares. There's one place near the Como Zoo that I think kind of has a similar deal, but never been. And that whole area is kind of like, I don't know. A lot of small shops. I want to go back to that one shop, the whole electronics store, because I think they have the stuff I need to fit the hook up the ColecoVision so we can play E.T. on the Atari. Probably just buy the stuff. But
Well, we're doing the Kyle's thing on Saturday.
I'm not gonna go all the way out just for that. If we went,
Well, I would be okay. I would like to go, but Kyle's thing is the 100% opposite direction. So that would be a little bit far.
Ooh. Ninesky, did I tell you how much I hate Hasbro?
Rant starting again.
Let me repeat the tale.
No, look, you made horse sad.
No, she said because she heard about what happened to Hasbro. Someday. All I know is I'm very much looking forward to Baldur's Gate 4, which they're going to make completely in-house, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. No.
No, it's going to have season content. And they're going to try to say that they're going to write like new narrative stories, but it's going to be absolute crap.
Yeah, it's Juice Box Derby.
I'm trying to think of just all the shit that they would do in there. They definitely need to make it live service. They're 100% going to make it live service.
Well, they're going to have to like piggyback off of some weird third party company to do that.
Yeah.
Like that nobody's
They
ever
just
heard
contact
of.
Bethesda, and it just was Bethesda, which is going to be worse. I'd rather have nothing. I'd rather just not have a Baldur's Gate 4. Baldur's Gate 3 is going to last quite a while for how much people enjoy it. Cheers, Pete. And somebody's going to make some like good modification stuff to it to make it so that people can just make mods, make your own stories in there. You're just browsing horse pictures.
No, I'm looking at if they've release date for Baldur's Gate 4. Yeah.
Why?
I'm looking forward to it. Did I not just say?
If they're trying to capitalize on it, I can see it, but the other game was in development for like 6 years, and I can see them just rushing it out to try to take advantage and then
6 months.
destroy the name.
Yeah. Baldur's Gate 4 officially revealed trailer PS5.
A lot of people like releasing AI stuff on that stuff, though.
Yeah,
I've noticed.
that's
So,
true. Yeah, I don't think it's real.
yeah, I've seen them do like they try to take footage from other things and put together to make it look like an advertisement for something.
Apparently, it's going to be made by Skeleton Key Studios, an internal Wizards of the Coast team. So, Hasbro.
Oh yeah, all their studios are good. I wouldn't be surprised if it just gets canceled before it's released.
Yeah.
Because they're going to look at it and say, wow, this is not anywhere near what they did before, and it's going to look worse on us, so we're just going to cancel it. Eventually, they'll have to make something, but that's kind of what happened. Like, why did we not have Baldur's Gate 3 not long after 2?
Well, it was Black Island Studios. I think it did too.
Yeah, but there was a gap there, and there was probably some other stuff about trying to maintain quality and other things that were going on. So I would
Well, it
be
wasn't
surprised if
Hasbro back then either, I don't think. Ooh. I'm not sure. I think Baldur's Gate 3 was the first one that was made while Hasbro holds the IP. But I'm unsure on that.
I promise.
Sunset, you provoked me to just continue ranting. Is this what you want? That rain?
No, it's not raining today. Adam was moving around a little bit.
No, I don't think I could hear Adam moving around. You know what it is.
I'm Ricky.
It's garbage. Hasbro decisions come right down on the house, ruining horse, making children cry.
Do you just like wake up at 3 in the morning, just sit up quick and be like, Hasbro?
Just Jerry Lewis style. Why is
Twitch, you're like, Hasbro?
Twitch.
Evil.
Butts. Evil butts. Ran. Yes, for your benefits specifically.
Hey, buddy. Hey.
Hasbro is turning the freaking frogs gay, Chad.
Actually, if there was a show that you would try to point to as like something that made the frogs gay equivalent, that's not a bad one to pick a point at.
My Little Pony made the freaking frogs gay. It happened.
I'm pretty sure it made some people gay.
Like, Mom, I watched My Little Pony. I think I'm gay now. No, I knew this would happen.
There's a lot of people that have said, like, it was through watching the show and then the community that they realized that a truth about themselves anyway.
Yeah. Maybe.
I have a lot of those comments on Twilight Ash.
Yeah.
Like I watched this 10 years ago and didn't realize that that's me.
I just want to smooch girls. Who doesn't? Michael is gay for the mares. Don't call me out like that, Nolan. Jeez.
Yeah, Michael, how dare you be gay for lady horses?
They're putting Scootaloos in the water. As long as I get to smooch horses. Peak.
Why is... Oh. Playhead's wrong. Okay,
Don't
fine.
go spreading malicious lies, Ninesky. How dare. You use that against me again. It is interesting that My Little Pony does have a relatively large LGBT community, because for the most part, none of the characters are, for at least the first, I want to say 2/3 of the show, and then you start getting some LGBTQ characters.
Well, it's more of it was a show that transcended gender norms.
Yeah.
And that was the big thing. Also, it was anything that's nerd tends to group people together that are outside of a society norm, and LGBTQ is one of those groups.
Yeah.
So it will congregate with others that feel the same.
I promise.
I think the first characters in the show that are just blatantly gay are Scootaloo's aunts. And you only know that
They don't really say it.
they do in the
though.
comics.
The comics don't count.
They do.
The show is what Hasbro cares about, but because they know that the target audience is going to be a lot smaller or the show's target audience is going to be a lot smaller for those that read the comics. You're not going to get the same people, so they can go a little bit more adult.
Well, they can just say in the comics and then have them in the show.
Yeah, but then you get away with it a little bit more.
Well, they kind of implied in the show too, because it's her Auntie Holiday and her Auntie Lofty, it's implied they live together, but only one of them is only one of them is the sister to her father. So it could be, if you really stretch it, that her auntie, one of her aunts is her mother's sister, and one of the aunts is the father's sister, and they're just living together. But that's a stretch. So the show very heavily implies,
Yeah,
but only the comic outright says it. You don't recall, Rainbow? It's heavily implied that her and Applejack are living together, and that Rainbow hasn't done her chores. And the final
Rainbow's
episode,
just gotten older and her wings aren't working so good, so she's living with her Applejack.
yes. And they imply that Applejack is a lesbian in the episode with Trenderhoof. He asks why she's not interested in him, and she goes to basically say, I'm a lesbian, but then Rarity cuts her off, and just tells Trenderhoof to go about his way. Like, if you rewatch the episode, she's real nervous about saying it outright, but Rarity cuts her off to make sure they don't get banned in certain countries.
So it wasn't to maintain Applejack's dignity.
Yes, it was to make sure they didn't get banned in certain countries, because that's just the truth of it. So, like, they can make Auntie Lofty and Auntie Holiday a couple without explicitly saying it in the show. Have Lyra and Bon Bon proposing to each other in the background, but it's minor enough that they can just cut it from certain regions.
That was Bon Bon's twin brother.
Oh,
a Knob.
I see. Knob. You know what they call him? Knob, don't you?
Yeah.
He's the one with the knob.
Yeah. And she's got a Bon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, buddy.
Knob. I just reversed the letters.
Yes.
It's Bon backwards.
Like, freaking over in Russia, My Little Pony's all but a crime.
You're gonna love it. I promise.
I think they have it like a R rating for its LGBTQ content. And like we've discussed, there's not a ton of it, and some of it's like semi-hidden. Like Applejack and Rainbow Dash's relationship, Auntie Lofty's relationship, Bon Bon and Lyra's in the back is 100% in the background, except for that one clip in the newspaper where it shows them both in wedding dresses.
I'll just fall.
I think that's it. Yeah, Rainbow wasn't revealed to be into the last episode, but Applejack was.
So Applejack is, but Rainbow isn't.
Yeah, which is I do.
She lost a bet.
I do love the comics. Is where she's like, Applejack, why do people keep calling me gay? It's because of my hair. And she just looks at her and goes, well, we've been married for 3 years.
Fly, I'll just.
I love that bit. It's a good bit.
Fly, I'll just fall right off of here.
Hey,
Right off of here.
hey, buddy.
Bon and Lyra are just really good roommates who wear wedding dresses together and take their pictures in the newspaper. It's just what they do. They're wedding dress modelers. But no, anybody who says they don't explicitly say that Applejack and Rainbow Dash aren't a couple in the last episode, I'm like, well, they never explicitly say that that's Pinkie Pie's kid either. Like, she stole that child. Little Cheese is just a child she found in.
Yeah, she was at the grocery store, and I mean, she's like buying things, and she's like, "I put the kid in the cart, and it's not hers now."
Yeah,
that's how it works.
Yeah,
I mean, Once it's in the cart, it's not the store's anymore. It's yours.
That's how it works.
Like, that lady
sure.
should not have been screaming so much when she stole the baby.
She should have gotten the child first.
Yeah.
Pinky
She should have
found
been
it.
paying attention.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a very big change in
Positioning.
stuff. Yeah, that is that doesn't work for hoof positions. But I thought maybe the root moved, but no, it didn't. So
That was in a lot of the comics too. Where Rainbow Dash would just say no homo every time she told Applejack she loved her.
in which comics?
Like the good ones.
Like
Not-
the official ones?
No, not the official ones.
Oh,
Fan
when you see
comics.
the comics, I'm like,
The fan
wait,
comics.
I don't know if Rainbow would be approved for Hasbro
Like,
of
there would
saying
just be
no homo.
Rainbow Dash and Applejack just smooching. And then they would back up and Rainbow Dash would just say no homo to Applejack would not be amused. Those are fun. There was one comic going around early in the fandom where it had Rainbow Dash inside of a cloud crying, and it's like every time somebody calls Rainbow Dash a lesbian, and it has her inside the cloud crying, and then somebody changed it where it says every time somebody calls Rainbow Dash a lesbian, she's inside the cloud crying, but then there's like a little thought bubble, and she's like, oh my god, I love girls so much. She's so just like crying because of how much she loves girls. And that also was entertaining. It's a horse butt.
Probably gonna have her go down a little bit, and stuff. Try to do more like this because I need to kind of move her a little closer this direction. I have to be careful because of Scoots' hair and Rainbow's hair.
Wait, you don't want their hair touching? Oh yeah, I guess. Just kind of clip into itself.
Yeah, it gets a little messy, and especially if they start moving and the hair is forced to clip because of like dirt, whatever. I have to be very careful on how it's done.
And go to horse. Click.
Oh, there we go. Oh, this did bend a little bit. I figure out how much they need to bend by seeing if it looks like it's the bottom of the legs compressing. If it looks like it's compressing, it means it's not bending enough. Like here, then that looks like it's, I think it needs to move back a bit more here. Yeah, that looks fine now.
Censoring MLP for gay horses just gives me the idea of gay horses in the show more legitimacy. They would often walk up to the line as close as they possibly could without explicitly stating it.
Hasbro wasn't. The animators and the writers were putting that stuff in because they knew the community and they knew that they would. When you have if you're like in a position in your life that you feel like there's nobody out there that's like you doing things, but then you see something like this, it helps make you have a connection to something and feel more validated. And I think that's a good thing. So,
and then there's Hasbro who wants to be able to sell the show in Russia. So it's
Which I can understand their perspective,
Conflicting.
but I also think that they're full of shit and just don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. You will make Michael's pleasure sensors go off the rail. Oh, Adam. Yeah, that is something Adam would have said. At Michael's wedding, ooh, I'm already got my attention. His guests on his side of the room are his mom and row after row of plush pony mares. My mom will be so proud. As I am almost certainly in this wedding getting married to a pony plush, correct? It's the only thing that would make sense. With this, if I've invited all of my and friends to the wedding.
You're going to be sending out all these invites. You're going to get letters back like, Michael, I appreciate the request, but who are you? Signed, Nicole Oliver. As you're trying to get like, can you officiate as Celeste?
Just one side of the room's plushies, the other side of the room's my family, all looking very upset because they thought the girl was not a plush horse. How wrong they were. The derpy plush with the fancy hat. See, you've already lined up one. Perfect. It's going to be part of the video that people show on my deathbed as they're like at my funeral. It's like,
we should get started on
let's
that.
look back at his life. And it's like, I'm going to marry pony plushies. We're happy he's dead. We're happy he's gone.
And now let's watch the videos about Michael. And
Away
then,
from
like,
us.
2 minutes later, and they're like, that's actually all we really got. Like, and like, all we have is Michael on stream. That's all we're going to be doing.
It's 5 minutes of nice video and 25 minutes of ranting.
So you know how
that's
normally
it.
when somebody dies, they have like that big like cardboard thing that shows a picture of them?
Yeah.
What picture would they use of you?
I have no idea. Just,
Do you have a nice picture of yourself?
yeah, on Facebook.
I mean, the one with you in a lab coat trying to be cheeky as shit?
No, I have one where my hair's dyed black. I'm trying to be cheeky. I don't think I'm trying to be
Well, yeah,
cheeky.
but they're going to show a picture with the black hair, and then they're going to open the casket and be like,
No way he looks as good. What's
well,
so bad?
actually, you probably would look better in the casket. Like, wow, look at the makeup. That can't be Michael. And I can see the casket's just lined with dockies as it's padded.
Yeah, that's how you should pad my casket. And I do like the idea is like for his death, he requested for certain, nobody look it up. He definitely requested this compilation video of him just saying pony butts for the next hour. And yeah, that is what it'll be. Because I'm certain that after all this time I've sat in these streams, there's at least an hour of me just saying pony butts. And I'm adding to it.
Actually, you know what I can probably do? This camera right there. Yep, I can probably move Rainbow like over here.
Michael's funeral portrait. There you go. It's perfect sunset. There's my funeral portrait. Whoops, noops.
I'm gonna have to adjust some of it a little bit, but this allows me to, because as long as it looks matching from here to here, and it does, I just have to adjust some of the keyframes because now she's not really looking at her. But their hairs were smooching, and we don't want that.
I need Tabitha there to say I do.
Michael Knightley's job is to find all pony butts before Michael croaks, to go like in the videos where he talked about or something. Because if that's the case, like, there's no way you'd have it on time, even if we knew Michael's dying in a year.
See, that's the trap, Nolan. I would get her to come to the wedding of me and the derpy plush, and to get her to say I do, and then I would just run off with Tabitha St. Germain, because I'd be cool with that.
Mm-hmm. On a side note, though,
Please
so
no.
this we talked about this at the beginning. So this is the first time because I just had it enabled where we streamed in 2K, so 1440p. But is it something that you would actually care about, or did anybody even find benefit of having it into 2K? If it's not, I'm just going to go back to doing 1080 because I see no reason to do it otherwise. If it seems nifty having it in 2K and it's worthwhile, I can keep doing it. But I just don't want to keep doing it if it's not needed. Thankfully, because of the transcoding thing I can do locally, it's not like I'm taking away some ability for other people to watch.
It's I feel like it's only really going to show in video game streams.
Watching my phone usually, so it doesn't really notice a difference. That's yeah. I'm thinking there's something like that. But on video game streams, I prefer 60 FPS, and I think I can do 2K 60. I'm curious as to how it would look. But I'm thinking bitrate might be a problem. Even on H.264, I'm a little concerned because it's asking for like 15 to 18, but that's for H.264. But if it's only topping out at 7,500, that's a little. But who knows? I think that's the part of the beta. We can always try that. We can try it on next stream. I just think if I go to do 1080 60, it's going to revert back to the old stuff and not use HVIC. So we'll see. But yeah, if it's not much of a difference or people don't take it or aren't utilizing it, then it's like, well, what's the point? It's not really any harder to do. I think my main concern with it is if you have it in a sub screen here and somebody's trying to figure out what I'm doing and following the text, that it's too small for them to actually read, and then they have to make it bigger. And even then, if they're not using a 4K or 2K monitor, they might not be able to see what's going on because now it's not going to be quite the right size. That's my main concern, but maybe I'm just overthinking it.
When are you going to animate the bit for Scootaloo when she grabs the cookies that sometimes the rope breaks and she crashes into the table?
That's like the third thing that we now have on a list. Yeah. We got Fiora's playing Final Fantasy 14. Starsong's playing Divinity Original Sin 2.
Well, there you go.
I think he's at the beginning. No, that's
Fort Hope.
Oh, there's Forto. Okay, I thought that was the first, like the very, very beginning. Like literally, you just came out of your thing.
You know, ghost fact.
Oh wow! See, that's the thing. Like you can see, this is pretty good, but like when that moves, that's bitrate problems, and that is why you need to have your bitrate set right. He's just got so much stuff moving. Like, what is the settings at? 1080 60. Yep, that's gonna do it. Because especially if that's 1,000 kilobit, but that's probably just because of the preview window.
Your ghost fact is ghosts, and this is very important for this stream you're gonna go watch. Ghosts are healed by drinking bleach. It also makes them white.
So that's a custom character.
If you drink bleach, it'll make the ghost feel better.
I can't see who that is, but that looks custom in Losa.
Yeah. They probably got a few people in that game playing custom characters.
If I remember right, it's Divinity Original Sin 2. You play the origin characters because created characters lose a lot of story. In Baldur's Gate, you can do an origin character and be perfectly fine. You're not losing out on much. You do gain stuff for doing the origins, but it's not as much a requirement. But you should very much play the origin characters when doing Divinity 2.
Yeah.
And if you're playing with other people, 2 playthroughs will get you most of everything. But playing 1 playthrough feels like you're going to miss a lot. Everybody has some neat stories. Though, I don't know if we've ever didn't see a character through on a playthrough.
I feel like we probably missed one.
I think
but you had your playthrough with Kyle.
Yeah, and I saw, and everybody we played with was different on the second one. So,
did anybody ever play the Prince, Red Prince?
Yeah, I played Red Prince on.
Oh, you did.
Wait, no. I was Sabille in the first playthrough, and then I was Ifen, but as a mage in the other one. But I think we had Red Prince with us on the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, Right over there, because if Divinity is just it's Baldur's Gate but older, and it's really so it's in terms of the story universe, I think Divinity's better. But Baldur's Gate has the benefit of just being newer. But wait over there, because that's a pretty cool game. But yeah, we'll be back Friday.
Yes.
And I am streaming Friday. We were going to have a bonfire this week, and it sounds like we're doing that Thursday, so it shouldn't interrupt Friday stream.
Big Derps, she wants to be part of the band.
And thank you to PJ the Primal Pea Shooter for the follow.
Like the Big Derps during the videos. She's like she's part of the video, part of the band now.
So this one is definitely not 2K or not. Doesn't change anything. Sharper text.
Ooh.
But yeah, we could probably try doing 2K60 stream on Sunday.
Yeah, for the video game.
Because I played at 2K, but I just stream it at 720.
Yeah, what a waste.
We'll see. If it ends up being really really crappy quality or something, I'll downgrade it. Because there's a lot of things moving, it's just going to cause that. But it's cartoony, so it might be easier.
You know.
Anyway, Socks right at the end.
Socks is gonna knock her over with the Socks.
We'll see you all on Friday. Have a good week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Fall over horse.
I don't even know where in the song it is. Okay,
there we go.
She fell over.
Oh, Socks got her. Hmm? All those horses. Oh, is she excited? Oh, look at all those sleepy horse. Gimme horse. Woody horse.
Why is it giving me like 1,000 kilobit?
Yeah, it's still pixely.
Well, 1,000 kilobits is low.
Yeah.
For 1080-60, your recommendation is 9,000. And they're at 1,000. That's
might be taxing their. I don't know.
Yeah, actually. But that's what you have NVENC for.